Hello, Lexicon. How you doing? Oh, I can't complain. I have 2 days off, both New Year's and New Year's Eve and New Year's, which is very strange. I'm used to working those 2 days. Of course, now that I say that, I'll probably be called in, so who the fuck knows. The AMA, the so-called AMA hasn't begun yet. I'm gonna probably do that around 9 o'clock for anybody who actually cares. I'm just warming up because I'm not exactly the best at pinball, even if I enjoy it. Oh, this is the old stuff. I should have tilted before. That's old school pinball for you. Brutal as hell. I do. Doesn't necessarily mean that I'm very good at it, though. Something kind of addictive about it. No, tilt it. Sometimes you get a good streak going. That doesn't appear to be tonight. Always play the old school hard ones before you graduate into the slightly babyier ones, so you look better. Yay. No, there certainly isn't props. Oh, shit. I forgot. That's interesting. Carry it over back into the original shoot. No, go. Nah. It does. Well, you know, I titled it correctly on the PS4, but apparently it doesn't title it correctly. I wonder if I can edit it right now. Let's see. Okay. And give me a second here. Okay, I have it on my PC. Okay, I got an achievement. What the fuck? Twitch. Okay, whatever. I don't know if it says now. I'm gonna reboot it on my computer. Let's see. That still says XCOM 2 were the chosen. I don't know what's up with that. Oh well, I'm sorry, folks. you get what you see. What you get is what you see. What you see is what you get. Anyways, so still got about 4 minutes before it's official AMA, whatever. Like I said, when I went into when I did the PS4 sharing, I titled it correctly. So I don't. Maybe if you're like trying to follow it through like PlayStation, maybe to show like the real title of it. I have no clue. Whatever. Maybe when it saves, it's like the temporary archive. It'll have the right title to it. Yo. XCOM Pinball. That would be, man, XCOM Pinball sounds like it'd be really fun. You have to be like brutal as hell though. For certain. Ugh, should tilt. It's hard to play this and read the chat at the same time, but whatever. Oh, Zap. That would have been a painful thing. Not as painful as actually watching this, so God love you. Ah. I'm thinking like an XCOM themed pinball table. That would be. I wouldn't mind playing that. Jake, how you doing? Yes, I'm quite unworthy. Let's see this fucking play. Nice seeing you, Jake. Ah, okay, get out of this table. There's one even older than that. Let's get really funky and old. I think it's called Central Park. This is even older, I think. So, in case you don't know, I'm playing Pinball Arcade. Pinball Arcade is recreations of actual tables from Gottlieb and Stern and Williams and others out there. So this shit actually existed once upon a time, and this one in particular had like this little tin toy monkey that would hit like a bell every time it got a certain high score, so they try to recreate that on the display here. Yeah, get the best angle. This table is brutal. It's just... there's almost no way to keep it alive. The older tables didn't fuck around, that's for sure. But then they also usually gave you more than just 3 turns. Like this is probably gonna be 5. Oh, come on. No! Ah! So painful. No. Okay, there we go. So I've never actually done pinball in real life so much, but I wonder if I ever did. The etiquette for actually trying to tilt the table in real life, it can't be nearly as easy as it is in a simulated game like this. I wonder if I'd look like a fucking moron more than I do right now. For those of you who are here, thank you and welcome. The idea of this sort of streamcast, or whatever you want to call it, is just chillax and talk about whatever. Preferably it's sort of like a way to sort of bracket an AMA. If you want to ask me anything, preferably SS&E or Bloating Colon or just essay-wise, I'll do my best to answer while making myself look like a fool in front of this game. And maybe someone will have fun with it. I don't know. Because I'm certainly not going partying tomorrow. Not all of us live by the beach. Alright, well. As for tilting a table, it's, I mean, they have, like here, let's just tilt the fuck out of it. See? It tilted. You see that? I'm gonna do it again. Just, see that? It keeps me from operating it. The table's basically disabled. So in real life, a lot of tables have that built in. It's like a, I don't know, some sort of like monitor for like how much you shake it. Usually it would just end the game completely. In that particular case, it just ended around. Because obviously tilting it's going to, it's like cheating, you know? You're forcing the ball to move. But you can sort of do it to a certain degree and get away with it. And it's actually kind of considered like part of the sport, so to speak. So you have a sense of agency involved with it. So Lexicon Spark asks, will any planned stuff from Shell String show up in Ulfarodi? That's an interesting question because it's suggesting that somehow the universe of Shell Strings is connected to Ulfarodi. I think I've already done one thing where I suggested that unicorns exist in the Ulfarodi universe. Unicorns being sort of like a, not exactly a unicorn, but not an alicorn either. It's like the body type of what's her name? Frickin' Fleur de Lis, I think. I can't pronounce French. Oh, this is a loud table. Or Sassy Saddles from the Cancel Out Boutique episode. Yeah. So my opinion is that they're sort of like hybrids that are, yeah, like you can call them Celestia Spawn, I suppose. They're sort of like. They have the thin, angular bodies of, like, say, Celestia or Cadence, but they're not actually alicorn. So I imagine it's like sort of like a regal bloodline thing going on, and you usually see them in high nobility or aristocracy and stuff. So I think I've name dropped that because a lot of times, especially with fucking failed stories like Shell Strings, what I at least try to do is bring back the lore in some way or another to have it live on. And Australia has kind of become like the repository of that. It's happened a lot with Indoponies. In fact, I think you're going to see a lot of EOP stuff show up, at least in name and Ophiroti for sure, especially as you get more into the Sorosian part of things. And other stuff that you probably didn't expect. It's going to be a name drop in probably about 10 chapters from where I need to resume. That's going to be like, oh, what the fuck is going there? Like, yes, I am, because why the hell not? I mean, Australia's like the only thing I'm really planning to finish long term at this point. I mean, nobody reads Appledashery, so who gives a shit, right? Let me get this one. So this is called Centaur, and I think you have to hit the orbs, like the letters orbs, twice in order to get like a two-ball multi-ball. I mean, I think that's how you play it. It's not exactly an easy game, but it's got a very nice looking table to it with the monochromatic design and like the rosy colored lights. And yep, a lot of pew pew, that's for damn sure. Come on, let me get that B. Ah, I missed it. I don't usually last this long. Ah, shit. Come on. Ah. Lexicon says shell strings is good enough with what it has to count as failed. It's a little hard to read on the TV screen the way they do the font. I don't think shell strings was ever good, really. It's just, it was a concept. If I had stuck with it non-stop for what I originally was planning to be long-term, then it would be great because, yeah, sure, it's a huge-ass fucking scale of a story, but at least it would be consistent and confident enough to give people reason to keep following it. But I failed. I mean, last year was just a failure in many respects, and I just couldn't keep it up, so to speak. And it's just as well. The people weren't really big fans of it. We're not fans of the pacing, and I don't blame them. I thought I could get back into the superhero side of like storytelling and make it fun and interesting for myself and have lots of fight scenes. I made it too big. I made it too big and too epic of a scale, and when I finally dropped out, it was just too much of a labor to keep it up. And honestly, Australia is getting so much more complicated as time goes by that it's not really, it seems like really detrimental to try to compound it with something like shell strings is going to be. Especially since I was attempting to try to recreate the awesomeness of 2015 when I was writing like Appledashery, Australia, and the things Tabby says at the same time, and that was just a fluke that it went as well as it did, but it was not really a good time either, and yet I've been trying to recreate it occasionally and just like, no, just 2 dailies at best, let it be that. Force comes in and says, Appledashery I've been catching up on over the last day and reminds me why I love it so much. Well, if you say so. I mean, I appreciate that you seem to have such that you and Floydian especially seem to dig it so much, but, God, especially over the last year and a half, it's been absolute garbage. Horseshit, to be using the pun, so to speak. It is going someplace. I do have a general plan for it. I do have like an idea in mind, and I'm executing it as horrifically paced as I always wanted to be, but it'll be worth it at some point for the few minuscule individuals still masochistic enough to follow it. If you want, I'll shovel garbage at you. Yeah, there is Makora and Appledashery technically. And the whole Stu thing, I like Stu. I think in a lot of ways I can relate to him, or at least potentially hypothetically relate to him. It's like in the goal of trying to make him a character who you couldn't objectively hate, I've ended up making him really awesome. But at the same time, he fucks up. Like with Applejack, he basically just quit on her in the middle of like the relationship before what things went down as he did at the end of Volume 1. So he's not perfect. He's an asshole of stuff. But the whole idea is that he's someone who's trying to improve, and he has such a self-esteem complex that it's kind of understandable why he made the mistake that he did. Now, Zappinator, being a cheeky bastard, asked about EOP Spoilercast when. I wanted to do it before now, but holidays happen, and I always forget that after November kicks in, it's like it's a whole nother world, and that's part of the reason why I decided to spend the last 2 weeks off of the dailies. And I think I put it to good use. I put some shit out, and I've been working late, like later in the evenings than normal. I would have otherwise come home really depressed and just be putting absolute garbage out. So it's probably for the best that I actually took the time off regardless of how it insults my legacy of having been able to handle that kind of shit in the past. But that is one of the whole scheduling situation is one of the excuses I have for not doing the EOP cast yet. Also, it just seems like a weird time of year to wrangle up randos on the internet and say, hey, remember this horse story I failed years ago? We want to talk about it. Can I drag you from your families for a holiday podcast? So probably in January or February I'll jump on that again. I'll invite the people involved and stuff, and it's not going to be a simple overnight thing, because I gotta plan how to make it at least with like less than 3 hours of conversation or something, because I could go on and on and on about that damn story if I wanted to, and I don't think people want to hang out for like more than 2.5 hours talking about that shit, or else I have to split it up or something. And see, I gotta figure out if that's even necessary or not. I mean, I'm happy that. What the fuck? Look at that. What the hell happened there? Looks like the ball glitched for a second, but hey, we got multi-ball. Yay. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, I mean, Ponky, God love him. He wants to be a part of the cast, but I don't think he's going to enjoy it nearly as much as anyone else would. And holy shit, we got 3-ball multi-ball here. I'm actually doing decent at Centaur. Oh god. Too many balls. Too many balls. No. All right. Fuck. Almost. I'm sorry. So yeah, I still want to do this, the EOP spoiler cast, but I have to read up on it. I made notes from ages ago that I have to literally remind myself, because it's been years since I thought up most of this shit and the EOP ending and such. But I do want to do it. I do want to have a very nice send-off, so to speak, in podcast form, because that's the only thing I'm going to get. Yeah, I can do my initials. Yay. But it's probably going to involve me. If Props is still into it, it'll be including Props. Ponky's up for it, even though he doesn't really like the story. And then I have 2 other people who I have to PM back about it to set it up just fine. Oh crap, my tables. Okay, so what other questions we got? Force says, I would be disappointed if anyone in Appledashery were perfect. God, everyone in Appledashery is like a fucking moron. I mean, if you even think about it, even Fluttershy is not very perfect. I mean, no matter what I've tried to do in that story, I think Fluttershy is inevitably going to look bad because of all the secrets that she's harbored, concerning Rainbow Dash. Just assuming that Rainbow Dash can handle shit on her own and what jazz. I'm going to try to somehow make it work in the end, but just it's such a garbage fire, that story. It's one of those things where I just would feel bad if I suddenly quit on it, and I have quit on it, but then I've gone back because the garbage fire just consumes more I don't know, kindling. Props says I have a lot of time next week. Props, if we do the spoiler cast, it's not going to be next week. It's probably going to be sometime in late January, early February. I have to coordinate not just with you, but with Ponky and other individuals. Props asked Prismic. Well, yeah, he's one of them if he's willing. And last time I chatted with him, he sounded like he was. But again, time's flown by. It's been at least 2 months. Lexic says, hey, if you don't mind, if I make another question, will there be another Ceros kind of thing or EOP's one-shots? I would EOP's verse? Yeah, probably not something to continue the EOP verse outside of Indoponies itself. God knows I've been tempted in the past. I remember going to Disney and actually thinking of ways to reboot the story, so to speak, and make it smaller and more condensed. I thought of an idea of oh my god. I thought of an idea of having Scootaloo be considerably less angsty and trying to make her more of a pleasant protagonist, having Spike be younger, less like Elrond from Lord of the Rings, and he doesn't have all the answers that Scootaloo is looking for either, and that they're both kind of almost in even Stevens with each other in terms of psyche. I've had other ideas of maybe having the story almost entirely take place in the wasteland, but then I realized that what was good about EOP was that what was good about EOP was the time travel, was the ability to sort of be taunted by the perfection of the past and the inability to resurrect it and stuff. It just was a bittersweet poetic nuance, and I can't recreate that. Even if I try to redo it, it just wouldn't be the same. I couldn't do it in the same tone or anything, I considered just continuing it as a volume 2, but then there's so many freaking plot holes and problems with the story that it just bugs me these days. Like the thin, feathery, bare bones excuses as to why Skidoo can't go directly to Celestia or just tell the truth or anything. There's just a lot of bullshit problems with that story. I would have to start out from the beginning, and I just it just can't work. Speaking of fresh start, fuck this. Who else did say? As for Zappinator being cheeky again, talks about riding a sled. Yes, I have that Skidoo story. I want to do more of that as well. When I get the dailies back rolling again, I'll make that my third chapter thing to work on, and then I'll continue that to completion, which should hopefully take another month or two, maybe less than that. I wanted to continue, but then, like I said, November and December happened. I just kind of got thrown off. The call attendant thing is for very really random circumstances where the ball is legitimately glitched so that it can't play in the field. I've only ever had it happen once. So like right now, if I hit pause and I hit call attendant, it's going to say, bullshit, you have 3 more requests left that didn't work, and then it's actually going to pause it, unpause, and continue the game. And I just fucked myself up. Thank you. I'm going to start over. This Dracula table is brutal. Something about it, I wish I could explain, but it goes into the gutter so easily. But it's a kind of a cool, nuanced table with a lot of interesting effects on it. My favorite one being when they magnetically carry the ball across the field and you got to hit it to make a 2-ball multi-ball and like get extra points. I think you have to hook it into like a spot on the left. And you know. Hey, lock. Nothing to be sorry about, Zap. And stop being Canadian. God damn it. Ah! It's so brutal! So brutal! Playing Tetris, you say, Forfs? Like, oh, Tetris? Okay, so like one on the PC or something? Oh, fuck. I didn't have to do anything. The table just screwed me over. It is a cool table, though. I can't complain. See, God love something like Pinball Arcade because you're not actually spending any coins to do it, and you don't have to drive to God knows where halfway across the state to find a place that actually has the table. You just make yourself look like a jackass at home. What questions do we have? I feel like I missed stuff. Yeah, EOP would need a full reboot if it was to be done decently in any way, but I just don't have the stamina nor the desire to actually legit do that. I mean, I've considered it before. It would be nifty, but I doubt it. As for EOP/Cerosian lore in general, Opharodi is going to have a whole lot of it soon. I hope that's not a spoiler, but there's probably going to be a lot of references to the stuff in Book of Saros or Saros and Saros the First Dream and EOP, just because of the nature of what we're going to be dealing with, much like how Inamhuter did at the end. Utan did at the end of that book. It's just kind of inevitable. I wouldn't mind doing more like stories with Cerosians in general. I actually have an idea, and as always, when it's just an idea, it means it's probably never going to get done. But it's an idea that there's like some sort of major, I don't know, some sort of ambassadorial program going on in Ponyville where like a bunch of Cerosians are showing up at the Castle of Friendship to talk with Twilight, and basically they're going to be celebrating some sort of Cerosian holiday in Ponyville. So basically bad ponies everywhere, and it's like a big deal. Hey, look, there's a magnetic ball, and I can't hit it because I fucked up. Anyways, there's a big like Cerosian convention in town, essentially. And guess what? This brings up a lot of old baggage with Trixie, because it turns out she's half Cerosian. She's like a unicorn with like mixed heritage, but she's been using magic all her life to sort of transmogrify and obscure the half of herself. Like she doesn't have wings, she's born without them, but she hides like the photosynthetic, so the photosensitive skin and like the ears and all that jazz, because she's kind of just not very proud of her heritage, so to speak, because of like the bad rap the Cerosians have had ever since like the reign of Princess Luna and all that jazz. And so the idea would be kind of a commentary on race relation, racial identity. Starlight would be in it, and she would have like her own kind of perspective on a matter, and it has to do with a lot of Trixie trying to embrace herself, but at the same time accepting the fact that she can't fully embrace it. I don't know. It's just an attempt. Goddamn, just an attempt to do some sort of slice of life exploration of the concept of Sorosians within Skirts and Pony lore, I guess. It'd be called Trixie, with the E's at the end, like she's squeaking or something. Yeah, because it's a Trixie story, it's bound to fail. That's just how it goes. I need to do another table. I am sucking hard at this. Let's get out of this. What have I missed? Sorosian discussion, you're going on, baby. I have no idea what's going on. Yeah, I've had ideas. See, actually, the Trixie being Sorosian / of mixed ancestry was an idea going all the way back to, I remember, Rainbow Dash in 2011. She was going to be from Winnipeg. And the idea I have always had, and I've referred to it constantly in several stories, is that Winnipeg was like a city owned by the Lunar Empire, or whatever, Lunar Rebellion, and it was comprised mostly of non-Pegasus or non-flying, non-winged Sorosians, like sort of unicorns magically imbued within like the Sorosian strain of a relationship, and that there's like a major siege between them and like the Solar Republic or whatever, and some big battle went down, and so I had this idea of like Trixie being like a long descendant of this lineage of mixed ancestry Sorosian unicorn hybrids, and that she had like this photosensitivity to her coat or to her skin, and that's why she wore the cloak, because she enchanted the cloak to keep herself from being like damaged by sunlight and stuff. That was going to be like a side story within the I Remember Rainbow Dash plotline, because she was going to have a major role in that, as being sort of like the Oracle / Bruce Wayne to Terry McGinnis Rainbow Dash. But God, that's going back. But some really crazy shit. What questions do we have? Yeah, Trixie is the best story title ever. That's the whole idea of that. It would be like a feature bait kind of a thing. Weird bullshit at the beginning. I remember Rainbow Dash. Yeah, because there was a God, did you actually read that for us? The opening of I Remember Rainbow Dash actually had an interlude of Trixie being like bullied by, I guess, neighbors or something, and forced to climb out of like a ditch in the ground in the middle of sunlight and getting like burned horribly. And then that was going to be returned to later on when Rainbow Dash had to meet her in like the Canterlot Library and then like enlist her help in doing some whatever plot-centric crap was going on in that story. That was convoluted. But thankfully I didn't write that. I wrote the other failure, or at least I tried it. But a lot of stuff that was in I Remember Rainbow Dash was channeled hardcore into Apple Dashery. That and other story ideas, just like everything became like the Apple Dashery repository of story crap. I think the plot line of going to Dredgemane and like having to find some sort of ancient artifact and like deep underground, I think that may have been an I Remember Rainbow Dash thing. And then the Cider Princess arc that was conceived of back in 2012 when I first started talking to Pomky. It was an idea for his own standalone story that would have been really awesome, but of course I never got to it. It also was incorporating ideas that was going to be in Bond 12, which I won't even pretend to spell out loud. This game is called Creature in Black Lagoon. It's supposed to be simulating being at a drive-in. And that little effect right there is a hologram of a Black Lagoon creature figure that's positioned beneath the actual table itself, and would show off when you get like certain high points. The only thing I don't like this table is how they play this 50s doo-wop version of Red River Valley, because it makes you think of Grapes of Wrath, and that's a good movie based on a good book, but they're both very sad. Yeah, the first moment I thought of Cider Space, I thought it was hilarious, but then, fuck, I just threw it into Apple Dashery. It's like, fuck it, I don't care. She said that story went on forever. And I put so much stuff in. I put in like all the original bullcrap that was going to go into Bond 12, aka Project Horizons, like all the Epcot shit. the Horizons ride and all the references to If We Can Dream It, We Can Do It. That was all Cider Princess stuff conceived back in 2012. If you go to the Just Essay user page and you see that art that Ponky drew of Rainbow Dash and what was it? I think it was It Ends With Them Cuddling. That was going to be the original fanfic title of the Cider Princess story, and it was conceived back in 2012. That's when I coerced him to drawing that artwork. That's how fucking old that shit is. Eventually, if you write as much bullcrap as I have, stories just kind of get recycled and thrown back together again, over and over again. The whole basis is Austraeos. It was originally based on a Zelda RP I had with a friend of mine while I was in high school over AOL Instant Messenger in the year 2000, early 2001. So it was like a Zelda concept that kind of got evolved and put on the shelf, and I had a dream that turned into an original story concept called The Nether Child, which I never got around to writing. And then later on when I started doing MLP fanfiction, I was like, well, I had that old idea about a character going around a flat earth and coming out the other side. It would take forever and a day to do it, but I could probably merge it in with this MLP Rainbow Dash canon, and well, that's what Australia became. I have to do an entire fucking blog about the history of Australia and how it came to be and how it was inspired by so many different things. Kind of like I did that big blog about a year ago for EOP in 2011 in general. And God, it's a mouthful to say the least. I'm having a pretty good round here. Come on. It's one of those tables where you can just hit the same fucking spot over and over again. You all having fun? And by the way, I'm not... I had to die before I had to lose a ball before I can actually read what anybody said. There we go. All right, so what did I lose? Weirdest bullshit has the most profound impact on me. Well, thank you, Forrest. How did Big Dumb Object have an impact on you, Forrest? Maybe you told me before, and if so, I feel bad for not knowing about that. Yeah, we got Epcot. Epcot will come back eventually in Apple Dash. It's going to take a while. Bond 12. You did props? The ending, God, if you're talking about the ending of Bond 12, if I ever told you the ending of Bond 12 props, it involved Lyra literally having lesbian sex with a human, Lyra and Pony Bonbon and human Lyra, and then they would merge into one being, and she would crawl out the side covered in amniotic fluid and shit. Bond 12 is going to be fucking weird. It's going to be the first technical clopfic, but a clopfic from hell. It's going to be really crazy. So no, I don't think that's what Operation West Horse was. No offense, but what you did was way better. Following all recycled purpose. Zelda Breath of the Wild. Zelda has a breath. Breath of the Wild. I did not invent Breath of the Wild, but I did write a fanfic ages ago called Zelda Has a Breath. Plot object showing up. You're talking about, Force? Yeah. I wish I'd finished Big Dumb Object the week that I wrote it, because it is kind of a cool concept. It's not original. It feels like I was ripping off a C-Lab 2021 episode. Remember the C-Lab 2021 episode where they're all talking about androids while the entire station is going underwater and blowing up? That's kind of what that was about. And so you probably did a good job in stealing for your own fic, presuming you finished it, because it was probably way better than what the crap I was doing. Pop says Regidar at Epcot. Yeah, that was going to be a thing. And yes, Regidar was going to meet Bon Bon at Epcot Center, not Lyra, because Bon Bon was alive while Lyra was dead because of Bond 6. It was going to take place in Epcot in 92 or 93, and there was going to be a young version, human version of Regidar, based on a persona that I knew about him at on fanfiction.net, and I was going to make him a big Nirvana / Pearl Jam fan and everything, and he would just be spouting out philosophy and stuff based on Kurt Cobain. And I did a whole bunch of reading up on Kurt Cobain. I listened to a lot of early 90s music. I was trying to get myself into the zone to write this weird ass fucking story, and God, it went nowhere because thank Jesus, it was horrible. And then Silvadel. Hey, welcome, Silva. How you doing? Now, if you want to do a Bond fic, it would have to be Bond 18. No, I think it would have to be Bond 24 at this rate, because it just doubles. But that's never going to happen. Okay, I got another ball. Let me do this. Alright. Hope you all enjoyed that stagnant nothing going on. Ugh. Is this a Williams table or a Gottlieb table? I don't know. One of them owns the rights to Universal movies. I'm not a big fan of the tables where they have bumpers that just get the ball stuck there for forever. Like, I love Medieval Madness, but almost every time you start the game, it just goes into bumper hell and never gets out. Get a little bit of that with Monster Bash, but Monster Bash is way better, in my opinion. Okay. How long can I... Nope. Missed it. Let's do an exchange. Hey, nope. There we go. Crap. Oh, shit. There we go. Double feature, combo collect. This is a fairly long game at this table. Of course, when I say that, I'm probably gonna fuck it up. Move your car! If you get a high enough score, he'll shoot a rocket launcher at you. I have to keep putting on it that same... There we go! I think you blew me up, right? Some of the music they use in this is in the diner table that I have. So it must be a Williams table, because it uses the same sound effects. Ah, crap. Williams, or the company Williams, they also did a bunch of like classic games that are bought out by Midway, like Robotron and Rampage and stuff. Really good shit. I wish to God they would have like a Midway collection on PS4. That'd be so fun. I think what I love the most about the Williams tables and games is just the old school sound effects that they have for like late 80s, early 90s arcade, because it reminds me of like Sound Blaster 16 effects on like mid 90s PCs, which is an instant nostalgia bomb if you ever experienced that before. Props if you ever want to get like a nostalgia bomb, go back and like listen to the soundtrack of what is it called? Exile, one of the first really original first-person Star Wars shooting games. Hey, I got something. I feel like I've done better at this table before, but this was a pretty good run. RC Cola. Really raw cunt. What did I get? 179,000. 179 million, I mean. Come on, just show it to me. What did I get? What did I get? Where was I? I was second best on this personal score. Of course, that's nothing compared to the grand score is all about. Now, I heard someone said Bride of Pinbot. Let's do Bride of Pinbot. I love that. Now, let's catch up on the questions. Hey, yep, Silvadell's around. Greetings, Silvadell. Just write a FitCon Bond. Yeah, that'd be like the prequel to everything. Like Bond Begins or some bullshit. I can't help but wonder what's up with the Australia-verse Sunset, because she appeared in EOP, if I remember right. I had to mention a sunset in Utan, I think, when Spike mentions that basically Spike went on the Equestria Girls adventure by himself, and I implied that he did a crossover with the Pound Puppies in order to like save the day and to get the tiara back from Sunset Shimmer or whatever. So presumably in the Australia universe, Sunset Shimmer is unfortunately perma-evil or something. Zappinator says, be like when Game Grumps released that video that was just G, but with Bond. Not as good, man, but I'm flattered. Force says had good plans for Sunset and Andromeda. What? Who writes Andromeda? Do you know who the person who writes Andromeda, Force? That'd be amazing. Props is going to go get food. Have a good time, Props. It's been a blessing. Zappinator has Lexicon and Sunset or Trixie with Gears. Okay. Well, that was Apple Dashery. That was Sunset with the Gears, and Trixie was part of that arc as well. God, writing Trixie mod, platonically, I might add, with Rainbow Dash, Daring Do, the asshole Daring Do, a la Ponky's sisters do, and then Lancey on the side. That was a really fun 5-character thing. And then you throw in the zany plot and Sunset as a villain. I had a lot of fun with that arc. I go back and I read that occasion. I make myself laugh at how stupid and campy it is. NES Atlas is my favorite Pie to Pinbot. We're going to play that in a second. What are you trying to print, Force? What are you trying to print? God help you. Whatever you're trying to print. Geared Dredge Main Arc. You talking about the Dredge Main Arc of Apple Dash reprints? For the love of fuck. That is... oh, those poor trees. Oh, those poor trees. Well, have at it, and what do trees ever do to you, you know? Don't make Fluttershy cry. Alright, let's do some Bride of Pinbot. Bride of Pinbot... Oh god, where to begin? I love this table. Maybe not my favorite, but it's like the only one I'm almost relatively good at, and I say that and I'm probably gonna fuck up super hard. And it's kind of an easy table, relatively speaking. You really have this one ramp that you're trying to shoot it up. You got to do it repeatedly, and then once you do that, it'll compound like the random score generator, like the wheel in the middle, and you could get like you get like 1 billion points like at random if you play your cards right. But what's really cool about it is just when you get like when you hit the sweet spot, when you get the balls at the ramp just enough, you actually can get this robot bride, a pinbot, to perform metamorphosis. And it's silly by today's standards, but I love it. I think it's really funny. But holy hell, is this a very sexist table, to say the least. Basically, I'm just playing on a robot's tits at the moment. Keep missing that ramp. I wish I could show this off because it's pretty cool. I think this one time I was chatting with Ponky and I was playing this and I was like, I promise I can get the ramp. I can get her to do metamorphosis. You get to see the cool robot chick, Ponky, I promise you. Extra ball, nice. This game going forever. I think I've had like a 25-minute game of Pinbot before on like one virtual coin. There we go. So I got to do that like another time to start the first stage of metamorphosis. It's so easy that it's stupidly hard at the same time. Come on, we can do it. Damn it. I gotta do it like a cool guy. There we go. So, first stage. So, now she can speak, and now I need to get her eyes. I think I saw a question by Zappinator about how often do I bring non-pony passions into Ponfic. Well, if you read enough of my shit, you'll know that I put wrestling bullshit into it a lot. I think I've done at least 2 separate fanfics that are involving Rainbow Dash and Applejack going to a wrestling concert. Like, I think I did it in Scoot's Company, and then I did it in frickin' the one he drew art for, Zappinator. The one with the robot suit. God damn it. Apple Loader. I did an Apple Loader as well. Just excuses to have the ponies go to like an indie wrestling show. I love doing that. There's like, suplexes all the time. That's been like a thing. Because like before, like in the early days of SSNE, it wasn't princesses, it was wrestling references. Because that was coming out of 2010, 2011, where I'd hung out with LB, the guy who originated Bard all the time. And he and I always referred to and talked about wrestling, like late 90s wrestling was our jam. Hey, I got her eyes. Now I have to get her to sing. And if I can get it one more time, I think I can make this work. I have to land both in the ramp. There's 1. There's 2! There we go! Metamorphosis! I love this. And he had the heartbeat and everything. There we go. My God, she's alive. Do it. Come on, say it. My God, she's alive. And so she sings for you as you do multi-ball. See, isn't that so fucking awesome? Man, I didn't think I'd get that easily. Don't fuck up. It's so cool. I love when the tables look at that. I love when the tables reward you with like really cool effects and sounds and shit. I mean, it doesn't seem so cool by today's standards, but it's just a real cool jazzy feeling. Can I make it in time? I don't know. I got the pressures on. I have to get it into the right bumper to serve into the lane. Oh, damn. I'm not gonna do it in time. Yeah, I think I fucked it. Damn. I need to cross it over. I'm not good at doing that. I fucked up. Oh well, that was pretty cool. See, because I didn't get it up, now I have to repeat the metamorphosis process over again, starting with the voice, the eyes, and the singing. And that's Bride of Pinball in a nutshell. There's more to it. Like if I, during multi-ball, during that metamorphosis portion, I could have landed it in the random wheel roulette like that, like right there, and I could have gotten like 1 billion points out of the gate. And for that reason, some people are not too big fans of this because it just kind of gives you points through randomosity. So if you make it last long enough, it just gets insane amounts of points. What's weird about it is that it's not even remotely like the original Pinbot. Like the original Pinbot is like way harder and not quite as flashy. I mean, it's got like an opening door thing, which is kind of cool, and there's like a personality of the robot, but it is way less forgiving. This one is very hard to actually fuck up. And like I said, I could probably continue this one for a long time if I'm not careful. Yay! And I got to do that again to repeat the metamorphosis process. There we go. So that's the first one. Kagan, how you doing? Finally caught a stream. Nice to hear the voice behind the madness of eSwords. Just as crazy, I imagine. I wouldn't describe myself as crazy. More like legally lukewarm. That's more akin to what I am. I really suck at streams too. If you want to watch a good stream, go to Sips from the Yogscast, or maybe like I don't know, Boz from like Muselg's Overwatch videos or whatever. Get in there. One eye. Now if we can get the second eye again. I don't think I've lost the ball once this game. Oh, where did it go? Here it is. Launch you. Nope. Gotta get it in there. Oh, look at that. But because I delayed it, it's going down the chute again. I have to do it like immediately, I think. No. Maybe I can do it this time. See, she's getting impatient with me. Come on. The problem with actually being good at pinball is that I can't read the chat, so I just having to ramble on my own. God, I got like 2 extra balls now. That's what she said. There we go. Zappinator says, I know you've talked about it before, but with the off chance the answer has changed to who's your favorite pony to write? Who did I say last? I presume last time it was, the last time I said it was Rarity. I still find her insanely fun to write, just because I like writing stupidly flowery dialogue, and she's like the one pony that excuses me doing that. She's like purposely melodramatic, so you can kind of hide your bullshit and like her dialogue. And just channeling, if you have like Tabitha St. Germain in your head, you can almost just imagine how she's going to speak, and it just makes the pages kind of leap off. It's just really fun in that respect, you know. So I always like writing about her, and of course she's really femme, so that's another good thing about Rarity as well. And Props loves Rarity, and that when you have a good friend who loves a pony, it kind of makes it more entertaining to write that character, especially when to show off to said person in the event that they read your stuff. Rainbow Dash is an easy go-to still because, you know, I find it easier to imprint on her because, you know, I consider myself masculine and she's kind of a masculine character, so to speak. And I feel like I kind of like I don't know if it's necessarily her dialogue, but like the dialogue I normally give her. It's just kind of the swagger and the attitude. She's easy to write, in my opinion. And people are going to think I'm maybe weird, hypocritical for this, but I'm finding Pinkie Pie funner and more easy to write as well. Especially Equestria Girls versions of her, which I find her maybe be ever so slightly more bearable. But then again, my version of Pinkie Pie is such like a bastardization because I usually throw in a lot of innuendo and other crap. I think that was my first legit ball death. God damn. Someone asked, Force asked more Star Treks. I would like to write more Star Treks. I've got ideas for stories that can involve Starlight Glimmer and Trixie as well. If anybody read the Sunset Sparkle story that I just wrote, Bacon and Egghead, Bacon and Egghead, people were like, wow, you had some really cool like world building on the side, and they're talking about like the whole solar system thing that I was rambling about in that story. That was kind of like the building blocks of something I've been wanting to write for a long time, similar to the to the Scootaloo time travel sled story. I've been wanting to write a story for a long time that's almost like an astronomical version of Colin Gardez's Lost Cities, where instead of, like, say, the Lost Cities is about these planets or planetoids existing within the same solar system as Equestria, but kind of operating under, I want to say, pre-Victorian science fantasy concepts of how, like, planets would work in the solar system. Meaning that, like, you know, there isn't like a galactic, there isn't like a spatial vacuum where you need to somehow protect yourself from the elements. There's like a nebulaic spatial field or some pre-Victorian concept that, like, people can somehow, or ponies in this case, can survive in space. Like, you know, you see how in Star Wars, like, they have what appears to be like open fucking like doors into outer space and people can just survive, like, whatever. Sure, they're force fields, but, you know, it's still bullshit. That idea of, like, yeah, we're gonna be exposed to space, no big deal, it's just a giant, like, dark air. Some bullshit like that. Just the idea of, like, a fantasy take on space exploration, and then, like, using a character or something as a vessel to explore these different worlds. And I think Starlight would be great for that. Like, Starlight discovering some sort of vessel or something that would allow her to either visit the other planets or to look in on them through some sort of magical bullshit. And then why not have Trixie involved with the story as well, you know? That'd be closest thing to Star Trek, I suppose. As for Star Trek stories, I'm kind of a lazy bastard, and I make other people, like, props write them. Like, I had props do a commission. Consider the Coconut was a one-shot that I paid him to write, where it's just simply, I mean, I just told him to go wild. It has something to do with Trixie and Starlight, and it's called Consider the Coconut. And he had them stranded on a desert island after a spell goes wrong, and just making the best of it. And they have a lot of cute, cuddly moments in it as well. Great stuff, because of course it's great, because props wrote it. That's why. And it had some questionable, like, coconut oil bukkake in it. But, you know, just counting. Come on, get it up, get the ball up there. That may have been it. That may have been game. God, that went in for like 10 minutes. Almost. Oh, I still got a ball. So that's the thing about Bright at Pinball. You can never guess when it ends, because they give free balls out like crazy in this fucking game. And I'm not really doing as well as I was earlier, but I'm kind of getting the Bright at Pinball, like, lethargy going on here. Come on. Jeez, did I just get another free ball? Fuck. There it is. There it is. I'm playing so spastically too. Okay, so the optics are activated. Let's see if I can get her to sing again. Misogyny in my pinball game? Come on, I can do it. Ah, fuck. I lost it. So even if I score, she'd give me like, I'm losing it, and then she, like, goes back to optics. God, this game's gonna go on forever. Here we go. I'm losing it. I'm losing it. Alright. Come on. No. There you go. I was sure I had it that time. Trying to exchange it over. Oh, there we go. Just do that, I suppose. Ah, damn. Getting there. And make it. There we go. Optic 1. There's a story where Rainbow Dash just flies to the moon, Zapinator says. That sounds like a good story, because why not, you know? I see a fuck, marry, kill question, but I'm not able to see what the names are. Ah. Come on. See, if I was a hardcore Twitch streamer, I would just make you all, like, pay $5 donations so a text-to-speech thing would ask the questions for me. I wouldn't even have to take my eyes off the pinball. Become a rich motherfucker. Come on. Nope. Oh, look at that. Okay. Fuck, marry, kill. Well, that's just it. I want to go by the Barcast rules of like suicide is always the answer. So what I would probably do is I would probably marry Applejack, then kill myself so that Applejack would get any sort of endowment, and then Rarity and Rainbow Dash can do whatever they want with my corpse. How about that? That would count as fuck, wouldn't it? Because I think Applejack deserves the money, more out of all of them. I mean, no offense, Rarity can survive on her own inspiration. Rainbow Dash already has like the whole Wonderbolts thing going on, and she's not really in it for the money. I mean, when have we ever seen Rainbow Dash like greedy for money or for fortune or any of that bullshit? I mean, she's committed like, I guess you could say she's committed like culinary theft. That mystery tour episode in season 2 where she like eats the dessert competition shit, like the cake thing that Pinkie Pie was trying to guard. I don't know. Right, that was like the only in that episode. Applejack was like the only one who was not guilty, and like the writer said that they didn't have time to write in a story arc where Applejack was like guilty of eating part of the cake, but it's just like Applejack is too pure. I think that was it. Yep, there we go. God. I don't think that's my best game of pinball, but it's pretty good. Okay. Man, this is such a good table. Even though it's too easy, it just gives it to you, it's still fun. High score 4. Nice, not bad at all. And then that really awkward limp moment they just released the ball. What did I get? Okay, not bad. I definitely done better ones of that. Okay, let me catch up. Hard-hitting journalism. Did you ever have any doubts about writing Pony? Oh boy, have I. I'm trying to think back, like the first actual scene I ever wrote. It was back when I was planning to do. I was planning on writing. I remember Rainbow Dash, and the first scene I ever wrote was the scene where Rainbow Dash's mother was basically fooling Rainbow Dash, and it was like a scene out of like Return of the Jedi. Long story short, Rainbow Dash's mother didn't survive, and it was a grimdark sequence, so to speak, because and I remember Rainbow Dash. There was like this plot line, or this sort of like canon that I would try to weave into EOP, where interracial relationships among the different species of ponies was forbidden, to the point that there'd be like fucking like torches and like pitchfork like ponies, like you're trying to keep it from happening. And so like I think Rainbow Dash's mother was a Pegasus, but her father was an Earth pony or something like that. And they had to keep the nature of the relationship secret from like everyone else, so they had to sneak away into this abandoned barn out in the middle of nowhere where they could fool in peace. And the whole scene was this dramatic sequence of Rainbow's father trying to help assist with the foaling, but there's a complication, and then suddenly bang bang bang, it's the townsfolk like at the door. We heard that, you know, you're all being interracial or some bullshit, I don't know, but they like are basically just willing to like do a lynching or some shit. But then Rainbow Dash's birth was plot contrivance into being connected with like a old alicorn goddess. I forget the name of her, but it was what ended up becoming Goltafine in EOP, but it was like the I remember Rainbow Dash version of it. And it, like, I guess there's like her birth itself created a song of Rainbow. I'm trying to remember it, but it's weird. Anyways, without going in all the detail, I was trying to write a scene of a horse giving birth, and I actually remember having to do like research of it and feeling really fucking weird when I'm sitting down to the first paragraph and using nouns like the stallion and the mare and, you know, lying on her withers or some other weird shit like that. And it's weird. It's very awkward, to say the least, which is strange because most of I remember Rainbow Dash was a bunch of a bunch of like really crazy Kaizo fight scenes and comedic jokes and stuff that was kind of framed around some like some grimdark stuff. So it was kind of meant to be naturally written, but then it became such BS because I was writing it so horribly, and of course I threw it Membert's way, and he was like, "What the hell are you doing?" So as much as I am regretful of how EOP ended up, I have to admit is way better than I remember Dash ever could have been. Excuse me. Let's see if I can catch up on more of these questions. Sorry for the static screen of Flight 9000 or 2000, whatever the hell it's called. Mary Do well, if this is in Apple Dash Volume 1, Rainbow Dash inherited Rainbow Gold. If it wasn't made in Apples anyway. Can I donate money that carries over to RD and Apple Dashery? She doesn't. I mean, okay, I guess she does need money, but her problem has never been just like the lack of money. It's like the lack of motivation and priorities. She needs to get her priorities straight. Because if she wasn't like binging on like cider over her sorrow over Applejack and all this other BS, then she'd be doing well. She'd be floating, you know. She'd be supporting herself. But that's not the case. She's got a lot of problems, and her lack of money is related to it, but not the core of it. What else do we have? Have you ever had doubts about writing porn on the website FemFiction? Is that a legit question for us? Is that where we're going? Have you had any doubts about writing porn on the website? When you say doubt, like, what are you saying? Like, I've done it before and I want to do it again? This is like I've had some sort of experience in that area. I'm actually waiting for a response because I'm very curious. Find it good. I imply nothing, she says. Okay. Well,
I was on the case.
I'm not gonna lie, I had been tempted to do stuff of that nature recently, but it would not be fun for anyone to read. It would not do well for anything. It's self-gratuity, so to speak. But it wouldn't be clop, because I'm sorry, just horses are horses, and I don't want to smell any of that junk. You had the Colgate fic. That was technically a clop fic at one point. I still laugh out loud when I read that, as horribly self-absorbed as that sounds. I thought it was a very funny scene that I wrote. And now the most recent thing I wrote, the one of the spider cat on the cover, that's technically clop, but it's not pornographic. I like that. I like that Nighty made the tag that differentiates sex from porn, thankfully, because you can write literature that has adult situations without it being necessarily, titillating, because that's not always the point. Zappander quotes, "We heard you're being all racial, some bullshit." Man, I'm very bad at like paraphrasing stuff. Sure, should I deny your clop alts? Yeah, you're implying that I have a clop alts. Would not be fun for anyone to read. Well, now it's a challenge. No, seriously, if I wrote any smut-related stuff, it would only be for myself. It would not be for anyone else to enjoy, and therefore it would be atrocious, to say the least. But if it does happen, it would most likely happen this year. Meanwhile, we're going back to pinball. This is called Whodunit. Whodunit is like a game where you actually play like the part of the detective, and I wish I could tell you I know how to play it, but it's a really cool table around. It's got a whole like storyline to it, and then when you play every table, there's like a different murderer and different victim, and you have to figure out like who done it, and then you actually have to chase them, like to chase the perp and stuff, by shooting down different lanes to like activate different like events and whatnot. It's really cool. So at least let you see what it looks like, because I'm not very good master at this table. So you got like the different suspects that are lit up on like the table itself, and you'll hit like a ramp, like maybe they answer a phone, and then you'll have like a witness say, "I think so and so had an alibi at this particular time," and you can determine who maybe was the one responsible for the murder, who wasn't. If you don't suck at this fucking game, oh my god. Let's try this. Let's try this again. Okay. Let's try this again. Case 1.
Somebody, come quick!
Butler found dead. The butler's dead.
I was on the case.
So let's see who killed the butler. Oh, let's just fail horribly. I don't know. Oh my fucking god. People are asking questions. They're going to have to catch up after I fail at this. Here's a brilliant idea. Let's do an AMA where I can't even look at the fucking questions because I'm playing pinball. Maybe if I was playing XCOM, I'd be able to answer questions better because I can actually take my time with that. Oh well. I gotta answer that phone.
Follow that cab.
I gotta get it up the ramp to answer the phone. Nope, that's not it. Keep getting the elevator. There we go. No, I almost made it. Answer the phone. Please answer the phone.
Somebody get the phone.
Shut up about the fucking phone. I want more evidence.
Who does this belong to?
I found a high heel shoe. RuPaul did it. Okay, come on.
Hey, taxi.
Damn. This makes me want to watch Blues Brothers. Okay, let's see if I can find a question. How many jurists are below the legal age to read mature content? You know, I don't think about that much. I don't think about how many people are like -2 Silverdales in the noble jury. Bones. Have HTDC been asked about it? Is that coming back? How to disappear completely, I think is what we're referring to. I told myself I want to do that, but I think if I am going to do the Flash Sentry story again, I need to finish the Scootaloo one first. I got to prove that I can finish the I got to prove to myself that I can finish the Scootaloo fic. I can do like something long term that isn't a daily, and then maybe I can go back to doing that story. The thing is that How to Disappear Completely was mostly motivated by how shitty I felt at the end of 2016. And ironically, I think I feel a lot better now because of you guys, because I had the Lemur Cave and shit to kind of like make my existence feel a little bit more worthwhile and all that crap. So I don't really have as much of a reason to vent. If anything, I feel like I'm writing stories these days more to enjoy myself. Like, I think the story I enjoyed writing the most this year was fucking Flounce. And if you read that, you understand every reason why I enjoyed writing that story. And it's not because I felt like I needed to get existential, like, philosophical bullshit out of my head like I had for so many stories in 2012. I just feel like I like to write stories these days to enjoy them. And you know, I put up a story like, say, the Capper fic. Even Capper is Fine Too, which was a GIF story for the Jingle Mist thing. And that, in my opinion, it was me, and I'm not trying to, you know, toot my own horn here, but me doing what I consider to be my best angle at a comedy fic with slight shipping overtones. And like, you look at the comments and someone's like, oh, you know, Skirts did another like shit post. I'm like, dude, if you call this shit post, and all my stories are shit posts, because I like doing like random comedy fics. I mean, if you want to look at a shit post, fucking Ponies Don't Think the Apple Be Like It Is But It Do. That's a shit post fic and a half. But then, you know, when you shit post, you got to shit post with confidence in order to make it, you know, feel worthwhile instead of just something you blow your nose past. Yeah, fuck this table. Let's see. But she has the mind of an elderly person, so okay. What are we talking about? What the hell? I'm going past that. Any hope for Shell Strings? Well, Shell Strings, I've pretty much given up on Shell Strings. I haven't put it in like the incomplete because I still respect that story. Part of me is too stubborn to admit that it's in like the garbage can. Because it would have been fun if I went all the way through with that. I would have had a lot of fun time with that particular story. Because I feel like superhero bullshit is like my bread and butter because of all the stuff I wrote back in the day with Teen Titans genre and stuff. Why would people be talking about Shell Strings today? God love them. That's really horrible. Forrest was making a comment about the table, the mystery story. Okay, sure. Mystery story. I would love to do a mystery story if I actually had the cojones to do it. For example, I look at like Jake, who confidently wrote like Luminous Sky and jazz like that, and you have to be able to write a story backwards and then forwards and stuff, and that's just not easy to do, you know. And you also have to be smart, so I don't have that going for me. Here's High Speed. I really like this table. It's hard as balls, but it's a good table. this is a table that you lose like a coin within seconds. Like you just start and you get owned. And I love it because, for the most part, the music is kind of tense but subdued. But then when you get into like the meat and potatoes of it, if you actually get it to work just fine, you like hit all the ramps and everything. Like the music kicks up and you get all this adrenaline during the multi-ball. But this game is fast as shit, and so easy to fuck up too. Ah, damn it. Like as soon as you hit the, as soon as you drive it into the, and like to the playing field, you gotta be right on that. The idea of the table is that you're like a high-speed, like a street racer trying to get away from the cops. And so when it actually goes into like the multi-ball, you hear like the cop sirens going off, and you hear like radio announcers and stuff. It's really cool. But God, every time I play this, I want to restart it because you just fuck up so easily at the beginning. I'll try to get at least one good round of this in before I go on to another table. It's a table. I probably could do with like increasing the lighting on this one actually. Damn. And then it's gonna fish it, and you have to have the right timing to drive it in the ramp. There we go. Of course, I love the sound effects of this as well. Yay, got jackpot. So this is my favorite part. And the music kicks in. And it's like, yeah, we're going now, buddy. It's so cool when you pull it off. Damn. I'm tilting so hard. Yes. Pretty good. Good shit. I missed it. Serve it out. Serve it back out. Come on. Serve it. Man, it's so fast. Oh, no. Keeps over going. Come on. Sorry, I'm a little quiet because I'm trying to survive. Man. If you don't hit it right, it feels kind of limp. Ah, man, I missed it. So you have to be really quick. Damn. That was fun. I like that shit. So that's an example of high speed. It lives up to his name. So Lizzie made a sequel, and I think Season 4 table group that you can buy if you wanted to. Let's see. More ways reference to the moon. Oh, I still got an extra ball. Cool. Speaking of backwards and forwards, have you ever thought about writing something reverse chronological? I did. The sequel to Hello Sedna was going to be reverse chronological. I don't know if I ever talked about that, but Hello Sedna was going to have a sequel that was technically a prequel, where it was going to be about basically explaining the state of Equestria leading up to Twilight's exodus from the planetary homeworld. It was going to get really brutal too. It was going to show like the very last mortal pony that was alive before she was like the last of her kind, and the construction of the spaceship and all that stuff. And it was going to be segued between that and her walking across the wasteland of terra firma, and it was going to be done backwards, kind of like Insomnia. The Christopher Nolan movie. I guess I didn't do it because A, difficult, B, sad as fuck when the first one didn't really need it anymore, or is kind of cathartic without being cathartic. And it's just, you have to have a really good excuse to write a prequel. I feel like prequels are kind of like, yeah, I guess, Star Wars taught us that, and then, you think we learned a lesson and the fucking Hobbit came out. I'm referring to the movies, not the book, because I know Lord of the Rings came after the book. Oh, shit. Did you see that? But yeah, it was going to be called Adjourned Terra, which is a stupid title, but oh well. Yep, here we go. Hit it, hit it, hit it. Yes. Awesome. Damn it. And as for beyond that, I would love to play with chronology more. I don't want to go into details, but we might see the future of Australia having some really weird chronological shit. You know, I'll let you leave. I'll imagine what that's going to be about. What else? Oh, there were going to be arcs of EOP that were going to be all over the place. And if you think about it, Apple Dashery Volume 2 is kind of like a weird, like, chronological thing, because it's going back and telling like the same thing over, but from a different perspective. So there's kind of some time play going on in that. Oh, hell. Guttery. That was a lame way to end. Something I'd like to hear you ramble about. What would I ramble about out of character that I haven't rambled out before? Because I wrote like a lemur blog all about out of character. It's like a pretty long blog, I remember. I feel like I said everything about that story I need to. I say too much about the story as it is anyways. I got another ball. What the hell? I'm doing good at this game. Ah! No, that was shit. That was utter shit. Did I get a high score? I feel like I got a high score from that. Nope, I didn't. I played this game too much. Okay, what other questions? My long-lasting memory about Refraction was how gut-wrenching apparently it was for Jake to read that. Like, he had a hard reaction to one of the chapters where it was just Twilight being Lone Spark, alone in like candlelight. I was like, oh, I didn't mean to make you so depressed, dude. Hot dog place near me that moved buildings. Okay, cool to know. Hey guys, what's going on? Oh, hey, Scope. We got horse fame in here. Don't knock on wood. How many people I got in this stream? I got 12 people. God love you. I know there's a lot better things you could be doing right now. Let's play Medieval Madness. You deserve it. Medieval Madness is probably everyone's most favorite like table ever. I enjoy it. I don't play it as often as others, probably because it's almost too awesome, if that makes any sense. But this is a table and a half. Holy shit! I had a really good game of this one time where I think I got the castle to blow up like 3 times in a row. This is an example of how you can make a table fun just by personality. There's so much shit that goes on in this table. The ultimate goal is to try to get the moat gate of the castle to fall down. Get the drawbridge to go down, and then you get the ball to go into the castle gate 2 times, and you actually blow up the castle. In the meantime, you have like a maiden to save from like a dragon. You got trolls that'll pop up. You knock the trolls around. There's just so much shit that goes on in this. And it's not even remotely serious. It's just like, let's take all the tropes of like medieval movies and plays and reenactments and just have fun with it. There's like a lock area where if you hit it, you get like a random score or events being narrated by Merlin. It's really fun. A lot of King Arthur shit.
Sir Rubenstein charges the center lane. It's not tragic.
Here we go. Merlin's magic. What do we get? Destroy the castle gate. So let's see if I can get it in there. Oh, almost. I'm no pinball wizard. Ah, look at that. Take a shit, castle. You got nothing on ziggurats and pyramids. Alright. Maybe I'm spoiled, but I tend to like the later tables that actually had like the pen lights, screens, and sound effects and shit. I just like the whole presentation. Because, you know, if you're going to be legitimately playing this and spending a quarter on it, I mean, just why not entertain you as much as they can, you know? And there's a lot of different phrases. Like every time it goes through that riot trigger, they have like 5 or 6 different voice commands on it. Like that, for example. Hey, the trolls! Let's try to kill the trolls. Direct sunlight. Oh, multi-ball. Smack the trolls. Yep. Again and again. Oh, that was great. That was awesome. And yeah, the jackpots in this table feel so satisfying too. God damn. Ah, I lost one. I still got a troll left. Did I? No, I didn't. Fuck you.
Keep that dragon away.
Come
It's
on.
spreading my hair.
Come on. There we go. Got the trolls. I forget how many times you have to shoot the ramp with the dragon to save the maiden. Ah. Yes. I got to shoot the castle. Oh, I'm running out of fucking time. Fuck. I messed up. I know you had really awesome questions, Zap, but I gotta at least do one more ball of this before I answer it, because I think there's like 1 or 2 questions ahead of you. Something about Lyra in full size. What? Come on. Oh shit. Oh, that was a save and a half. Come on. See, I'm nervous because we got horse fame in the room. I gotta look like a cool guy for the horse fame. Ooh. That's nice. You want to take a hit for how many times I've gone on like Derpy Brew and I have like accidentally seen very obviously background pony like inspired clop art? Usually it's, I think, someone out there who's like a big fetishist for like oversized mammary glands likes to commission art of like Lyra and like her outfit malfunctioning. Yeah. And back in 2013, I think Spotlight shared with me, hey, look what this thing that someone made. And it was like literally Lyra from Background Pony wearing her hoodie, doing like a hoof job to like a little rabbit persona creature. And, you know, not my cup of tea, but holy shit, was the art actually good. And it's like, you know, why can't people good at fur art do that for like Disney fan art, you know? I mean, I'm not trying to complain, but I guess I am. I'm not kidding, there's good Disney fan artists out there. Come on. It's like that subjective complaining tone is like, why do all the good artists gotta be into their freaky shit, right? But then again, you know, one person's freaky shit is the other person's like vanilla wafers, I guess. I don't know. Come on, let's do something cool. I gotta hit the castle door again, don't I? Damn. No, I keep missing the castle door. Unless that counts. So I'm preparing multi-ball, but I gotta get the fucking... Oh my god. Oh, I hit it! Yay! And I guttered it. Fuck. Okay, let me look. What questions we got? Alright. Something... There's a hot dog place near me. Hey guys, what's going on here? I'm not horse fame. Yes, you are. It was like one of the few places I've seen real pinball games. 6 and 7s is on hiatus. Ending when? That is a way harder story to write than you would think. But now that like Flutter Priest has opened up that really like enticing experimental fiction group, I might be tempted to actually go back to that. Why not ban the scum that is Oh Boy? Because everyone seems to like it, even if I don't. I mean, I don't want to be a buzzkill. Here it is. Zappinator so skirts after we all saw your beautiful depiction of Lyra stylized. When will you create more art? I mean, oh, that bullshit on DeviantArt. What the heck did I think you were writing about earlier? Full-size Lyra, skirts first cloth pick. No, thank you. I've done enough fucking around with Lyra. I don't want to do any literal fucking around. Oh, geese, Megapone, ducks have nothing to do with it, Scope. You gotta look up some of the Zootopia stuff. That's where all the fur art is. I really enjoy that comic that went up. I didn't read the original thing because I don't like cringe. But like for a while there, for like a solid week, like the same week that like the internet was being murdered by like FCC, this comic went around. I guess someone was making like a pro-life comic, and hey, more power to them. But it's like a really well-drawn art of Nick and Judy from Zootopia having some sort of argument about like some, I guess, fox-rabbit hybrid child that like Judy was about to give birth to, and she wanted to abort it or something. So everyone kept making fun of it because I guess when you do something pro-life on the internet, it gets chomped to bits immediately. Damn it. And you know, I'm not going to go into that politically and stuff, but I think it's absolutely fucking hilarious. Like all the different takes on that comic and all the edits that people have done. So I actually got a score on that. That's just a fun table all around to do. Bam. 27 million. I know I've gotten higher than that before. Yep, see, on the very top, I fucked it up. I put only 2 R's instead of RRC, but that's as high as I've gotten on this fucking game. Alright. Last Lamplighter says that was the one of the lesser ones, FPR me. Okay. There are better ones. The comic apparently wasn't even intended to be pro-life. Okay, so I don't know anything about the comic apparently. I just heard it said, it's a pro-life comic or whatever. I don't know what that... But yeah, there's a lot of exploitable stuff. But it's good art. It's good freaking art. Even it's just fun and funny to look at all around. So it's like internet fucking gold. What are we gonna do now? What are we gonna do? Let's see if I find another table. No, that one takes forever. Oh god. Here's a really weird fucking table. This is called Champion Pub. It's fun, but it's like an example of like going like really crazy out there in terms of like all the non-pinball stuff in a pinball table. It kind of speaks for itself. And this is like based on a recent one too. This is kind of like really new edge. Like if you're a pinball purist, you look at this thing, you're like, what the fuck? Why is all these bells and whistles? Like here, I'm gonna do some flips. Watch this. You're having fun playing pinball? This is pinball next gen. Come on, come on. If you didn't know, I'm using the left flipper to make the ball jump over the hoop. So this is all themed around being like an Irish brawler, I think, and like a pub or something. Hopefully I can get a decent game going so you see what a boxing match looks like in this. It's got the type of launcher that is button activated instead of spring activated. Here we go. So this is the centerpiece of the game. You actually do a boxing match. So I gotta hit this guy with the ball a certain number of times in order to score. So it becomes almost like a Street Fighter game. Bam! Take that! Take that! Ah! Oh damn! So you gotta do within a time limit, or else he wins the match. See, like he's hitting me. I gotta hit him back. Ah! I think I may have won. Nope. Come on, I gotta do one more hit. Fuck you. There we go, I won the match. Awesome. This game is so weird. Why am I getting jackpots and there's nothing, no multi-ball? Okay. Let's see, I need to do a special ramp. Spitting Gallery, what is this? Use flippers and move Splatoon. Catch 10 before missing 3. These are always hard. Oh. Oh, shit. So I'm using the flippers to move this thing. I got an extra ball for doing that. This game is so weird. So I missed 3, but I got an extra ball out of that. Come on. I know people are asking questions. This stupid game. This is such a weird game. That's a Russian this time. So they got to go the whole gamut of oh, come on. I forgot. I didn't even know he was going to jump rope. Gotta kill the Russian. Come on. Include this, will you? Ah, shit. Damn it. I gotta punch him. I gotta punch him harder with my balls. Come on. Not doing good. Oh, I lost. I was knocked out. See? The game owned me. So at least you got different flavors of games in this collection. When I go really Kaizo, this is as Kaizo as it gets. Wait, what's happening now? Oh, I gotta do this again? No, it opens that. If I lock it, then I get to that game. Now this is crazy. Come on. So I'm hitting both flippers. To do like the boxing portion. Wait, did it go back into this? Oh, it's another fight. It's a rematch. Rematch with the Rusky.
You want more, Boomski?
Wait, what? Okay, there we go. I started a ball from the middle. That's weird. Now, let's not diss Rocky. Rocky 1 had amazing acting. Let's be real here. Although my favorite Rocky is Rocky 3. I love stories where like the protagonist like basically goes to like a very extreme low and then has to climb back to the top, and that's what they do in Rocky 3 in a nutshell. It's a perfect middle chapter for a saga. Damn. Although arguably Rocky 3 is when the God, the Russian keeps beating me. Yes, let's be insulting. I think that was it. I think that was it for that game. Nope, I got an. That's right, I got an extra ball. Alright. You. I haven't seen 5. I know everyone says it sucks. But apparently, the most recent Rocky films that they made have been really, really good. Like the ones that continue the lore, like the one that has like I guess Creed's like kid or grandkid. I don't know. Oh man, I lost it. Yeah. Okay.
You made your own coach proud, kid.
Have I ever got a high score in this? I can't remember. I like the Irish music in the background. 13 million. Not bad. Okay, let's see what questions we got. Realize that Spider-Cat was your... Yeah, I did, and Zappinator, the Spider-Cat thing being my 150 story, that's the closest thing I can make to do to make it seem relatively significant, because I thought, oh, it's going to be a throwback to the thing I did as the story submission number 2, like the stupid, like I wrote this at 5 in the morning because I couldn't sleep thing. Because every time I try to plan to make something numerically like poignant, it always fucks up. It always sort of like falls on its head. Remember when I had like story number 100, like let's vote on what the story is going to be. Oh, Trixie. Okay, let's have the Trix thing. I never fucking finished it. That's my legacy. All right. And someone asks sheepishly, any plans for fic number 200? Man, just everything I just said is never going to even get. There's nothing going to be special about it. I don't think anybody's going to be even reading like horse fiction at that time. Whatever Gen 5 brings, spoilers. I don't think it's going to be the same kind of world, to say the least. So Chris, what are you playing this on? It's okay, Zap, that he answered it. It's the PS4. Use the L and R shoulder buttons to do the flippers. I kind of almost wish I could go back in time and have this on Steam instead, because they tend to be cheaper, but it gives me an excuse to pop on the PS4 for other stuff aside from like XCOM or Fallout 4, and it's relaxing. I can actually kind of take my eyes off the computer every now and then and just like be stressed out by pinballs. Someone saw Star Trek earlier, so let's do Star Trek, shall we?
Make it so.
This is a damn good table all around. And it features the voice actors, or should I say the actors doing voice acting from the original series. Everyone except for maybe Denise Crosby, of course. Last Lamplighters asked me a question related to leaks. I really don't want to get into deep conversation about the leaks. This is going to sound weird and insulting, but I'm really not actually a fan of even having a leak channel on Lemur Cave. but I know that even though I don't want to talk about it, doesn't mean that other people don't. And I hate being like a censure bastard, so it's up there if you want to chat about it. But I think Alan Mayes and props to the Weiss thing of removing the ability to do picture uploads, because I think that's pushing it. I really don't like the idea that leaked assets are out there that's ruining like Hasbro's chance at like controlling their own content, you know? And I'm not trying to get on a high horse. God knows I've downloaded and ripped a lot of stuff from YouTube and whatnot, but this feels like extreme. It's like shit that we're not really supposed to see that hasn't been previously released out there, and it just depresses me, you know? And the fact that like a lot of people just play it off like, yeah, whatever. It's like, no, I want it to, with some stuff, it's got to be sacred. We're not talking about a bunch of like crazy Canucks like releasing an episode slightly earlier after they've already been distributed to them from like DHX. I'm talking about something illegally being distributed out of like the gloves of the actual production crew, and it's just depressing. And I don't like being depressed when it comes to Pony, you know, even though I write a lot of depressing stuff. So I haven't seen a lot of like the stuff that's on the leaks, and I'm trying not to. The only leaks, quote unquote, that I've seen that I want to know more of is Flash's fucking haircut from like the new Equestria Girl shorts. But that was Hasbro's own fault for leaking that one episode. So we'll find out more about that in the future, I suppose. Hey, the Last Lamplighter, do whatever you want, and I'm not trying to make any sort of judgment on you or whatnot. Just, you know, there are reasons why we can't have nice things. And God knows bronies have like a horrible enough like track record as it is. I just don't like indulging in something that's like an obvious, what's a good word for this? Violation of like the creative content of the show. I mean, like I said, it's not like it was released like prematurely by like a channel or something. I like the show being special, and I like feeling special. And hey, we learned that we're going to have potentially 8.5, maybe 9 seasons. That's cool. And you know, all things have to come to an end. I'm not really depressed by the fact that they're going to be eventually shit canning 4 and doing a Gen 5. I mean, that's just nature of the beast. It's kind of miraculous the show has lasted as long as it has. But people have made a good statement that it doesn't need to become The Simpsons. They've explored so much, and because of like the directions they've taken, the likes of Twilight and whatnot, they've had to invent new characters like Starlight to make the sense of awareness and discovery feel new and unique, because they can't really do a Twilight all the time and make it somehow seem original. So they've had a lot of challenges and they've overcome them, but they can't do it forever unless they dynamically change the story altogether. And that's where reboots come in. That's just the nature of the beast when it comes to Western like entertainment and storytelling. Anyway, Star Trek. This is a table and a half. So you don't have a normal like launcher. You have a button, but you see how it's cycling through the different options there. When I hit the launcher, it's going to go through one of those, and it alters the gameplay entirely. And you have different like sort of games you can do. Eventually, we might be able to get Discord's voice, because John Delancey does voice acting for this as well. We're gonna do a launcher. Nope, I meant to do a launcher pro, but I did it too soon. So you have like a lot of these sweet spots to hit, and they begin missions, and then you have to hit certain ramps that are lit in order to accomplish the missions. It's pretty cool. Not exactly the easiest table, but what is these days, you know? And I'm sorry to disappoint Wikinator. I'm sure it'd be a lot cooler if you didn't know who it was, what it sounded like. Every now and then where I work at my retail job, I'll get like the redneck customer says, "You sound like the guy from The Matrix." And I'm like, "Hugo Weaving?" And they're like, "Yeah, you sound like him." I'm like, "Uh-huh. It's an inevitability. There's a cancer to this planet. We are the cure."
Picking up a Ferengi freighter in the neutral zone.
Ferengis. Space goblins. Petra in space. Fuck. I keep forgetting about that flipper up top. There we go.
Our ship is disabled. Duranium spheres.
Warp factor 5.
Oh, those are actually nice Ferengis. They weren't evil Ferengis. Ah, shit. I need to get a high score, because then Worf will tell me that I'm with honor. Come on. This pinball table has no honor! Fuck. This multi-ball is crazy. What did I even do to trigger it? I helped Ferengi and they gave me a bunch of balls? The Ferengi aren't exactly the most generous race of Star Trek species out there. There's a fanfic idea. Let's have Rarity like, abducted by Ferengi, and they're like, "You're a female. You're not allowed to wear clothes." And I'm like, "I don't wear clothes." What was that mission? Mission. I gotta hit that. Oh my god, I hit it. The rift adds time and increases reward. Oh my god, I hit it again. It's beautiful. Oh, I almost hit it 3 times in a row. Let's see. Star Trek crossover win. Zappinator, I have been so tempted to write some sort of Star Trek crossover. Like, God, you don't even understand. One of my biggest fantasies is to write a continuous crossover where basically just ponies exist in the Star Trek universe, and they're, they just put on a uniform, they just do their thing, But you think, oh, that sounds awesome, right? Well, here's the punchline: it would take place in Enterprise timeline, because I'm like one of the only fuckers on the planet that actually likes Enterprise. And I wish it went on for, I really wish it went on for 7 seasons instead of just 4. And it was such a bad last episode too. Oh my god. Even worse than like, oh my god, the Borg. I've never seen it lit up like that before. Oh god, I've got to shoot the Borg. Die, Borg. Shoot the Borg.
All hands, prepare for multi-ball.
Yes, please give me your balls, Jean-Luc. I really want your balls. Shit. Worf, hold in there. Oh my god. This is actually a good game. Holy shit. Holy shit. What's that? Did Worf just say jackpot? No. Fuck you. Stroganoff. Alright. Oh, I blew up the Borg ship. That's amazing. Yeah, it's Worf saying jackpot. My life is complete. Oh shit. Some more panic than that, Worf.
Sensors are picking up a Romulan warbird.
Really? Let's have a party. Let's have a real Alpha Quadrant party. Ah, god damn it. That was a good round. Star Trek Canterprise. That's really funny, Force. Yeah, I don't think... I would love to write Star Trek pony crossovers, but yeah, technically speaking, I have the ability to do a one-shot thanks to Zappinator. I just haven't taken advantage of his good creativity. As for ponies, Silvadel says Voyager, placing them out of range of normal Trek or DS9 would work best for them. You make a very good point. Although maybe it would be funny if like Equestria and Celestia and Luna and like their light-bending powers actually have like no permanent poignant effect on like the Star Trek continuity, because the Star Trek universe is so big and batshit crazy that nobody cares. Last Lamplighter says, for the longest time I thought there was no skirts, just some group of screaming monkeys smashing their faces to a keyboard to make pony words. I only wish it was that noble. And 12 Monkeys is in fact a good movie that I ripped off for some horrible failure of a fanfic. Launching a probe. I'm gonna try to hit the ramp. I did, and it didn't matter. Thank you, Data. I want to do a shuttle simulation.
Program initiated.
Shuttle simulation. All is traversed the way. Oh god.
10 million.
What am I doing? Oh shit! Oh, I hit I hit like a giant. What the fuck was that? A midnight star? Whatever. Oh no, the Romulans.
On screen. We are conducting military exercise. Be wise to change course immediately.
Romulans are best space Russians. Fuck. Oh well.
Shoot again.
Wow, how am I getting all these extra balls? Okay, give me your options. Let's do the skill shot. And into the ramp. Yes. Thank you, Worf. Oh shit. Come on. Yay. Battle simulation. Launch balls at flashing targets. Level 1. Oh, can I do it? Bam! Yes! That's beautiful. Ah, I missed that one. Ah, this is fun. I mean, then I say that and I fucking lose. Well, Zapping, it's random. Well, it's not exactly random. I just suck at it. I'm an honorable player. Other pinball games are Romulan. They're without honor. If you want to ever talk like Worf, remember you gotta only use your chin. You can't use your forehead. Talk with your chin, kids, not with your forehead. Ever think about that? People like Michael Dorn and Roxanne Dawson, who played Klingon characters, they couldn't act with like their forehead. They had to just do everything with like the bottom half of their face because they couldn't do even eyebrows and shit. It was a good ass table. Tales of Arabian Nights. This is the most I've ever heard Skirts talk about balls. Are you sure about that, Forrest? Do you even hang out with me in Lemur Cave? Silvadel says, I can see Equestria being something akin to Talos 4, where nobody is allowed to go there. Yeah, you're not wrong, I suppose. What do you imagine? What if, like, Equestria was, like, one of those things they're doing, like, a duck-blind investigation of? It's like, because they're not... I mean, they're magical, but they don't have warp technology, so it's against the Prime Directive to interact with them until they make that one leap, that like Cochrane barrier or something. That would be a story, like first contact between ponies and like the Federation. That could be a really cool ass story. This is a very good table. This might be my favorite table on the whole collection. This is a really beautiful table, great sounds and everything. You're trying to free a genie princess from like a bottle, but you have like this evil genie you got to battle with at the same time. So you got to banish him and stuff. And you have this magic lamp. You rotate it to get like multiple combos of points. It's really cool. And like every time you hit the genie, you get like a different like Arabian tale. And I collect a jewel. And I think you have to get to a certain. You have to get to a certain level of like jewels unlocked in order to free the princess. I've never been able to do it successfully, but I got pretty damn close. And ironically, this is the only table you get for free. So if you actually download Pinball Arcade off of PlayStation Plus, they give you this. And then they're like, oh, you like this? Well, buy all the other shit, $30 a season. And the first two seasons are big, but then the ones after that are considerably smaller, but they still price the same, so whatever. Pay to play. Welcome to the modern day gaming generation. Yes, nice. Oh shit. This table can surprise you with how fast it goes. Yay. Okay, let's see if I can hit the genie. Yes. What I have to do to get the thimble to actually do battle with him. Yay! Okay, we're moving our way to multi-ball. Oh, Silvadel, don't get me started on Star Trek and long-range teleportation. The fucking Abrams movies, you know. I love. Okay, let's get it. I like the actual Abrams movies of Star Trek, but that bullshit with the hey, I'm gonna teleport Khan to fucking Kronos after like pulling a 9/11 on Starfleet headquarters. That is one of the most aggravating plot devices ever. It was okay in the first movie because they used it once, and it was because Future Spock like innovated like Scotty's design. But then it's like, oh, we still have that technology, and the villain can use it for a plot device to make us have to chase him across half the galaxy. Oh god, is that infuriating! It breaks the universe when you have teleportation abilities at that power. So now, if we were to incorporate that into like a My Little Pony crossover, you could make an entire story about that and how it's going to be like actually impacting to the galaxy, especially if we do it in something like post Dominion War, where like the universe is still recovering from like the War of the Dominion, because God knows there's probably all sorts of wayward entities in like the Gamma Quadrant want to take use of that kind of technology and shit. And God knows the Borg are fucked after the end of Voyager with like the transwarp arrays have been messed up. They're probably looking for alternatives, so they probably want to assimilate the ever-loving shit out of ponies. You know, think about that. And I want to make it clear, I don't hate the Abrams movies. I actually really, really like number 3, and I think number 1, like the 2009 Star Trek movie, is just one of the finest action-packed blockbuster movies of the last decade. I think it's great, and I get on, I really get peed off when people are like, I refuse to watch it's Abrams, he's ruining the franchise. Like, dude, the franchise had its run, okay? It had 4 shows starting in the 90s. It had like, God, like over maybe 400 episodes, if not more, of content. I haven't watched the new one on the Sony streaming system because I'm just not big on a paywall. I'm kind of waiting for the season to end anyways. But I'm not really that insulted by the fact that the series has been rebooted, that it's taken its own turn, that it has different interpretations. Because God forbid you have a show or a movie series that's fun, you know? I'm not going to incriminate about that. But that plot point of the second one just really bothers the hell out of me, you know? That's some shit you can't live down. And plus, it leaves a bad aftertaste in my mouth that I think in a way, and this is a stretch, and I'm not going to pretend to be smart about the subject, but supposedly Into Darkness is like the second movie, was kind of like a thinly veiled like 9/11 conspiracy Bible of an inner plot line. I mean, I guess it's okay to make commentary on like the nature of the Western government and its meddling with other parts of the world has led to terrorist attacks and stuff, but I felt they didn't need to have the destruction porn at the end, you know. And then they were high and mighty enough to say, hey, we meant no offense to people who were affected by 9/11 with like the whole giant spaceship crashing the building shit. Like, you just don't even mention it, don't even acknowledge it, dude. In fact, why do you even have to have destruction porn at the end of the movie? Because like we already had like the emotional attachment. We only have the emotional attachment to Kirk and like Spock reacting like crazy to Kirk supposedly dying. That's all we need. We don't need to have like, oh, look at Khan doing a 9/11 on San Francisco in the future. That's just it's like a whiplash, like a disconnect of emotional attachment, and it comes from that gland, that sort of destructive gland mentality in like Hollywood that we have to have a lot of CG destruction porn, like the same kind of shit that went into like 2012 and San Andreas kind of was the reason for like the way the Into Darkness climax went. And it's like you're glossing over what we're supposed to be concerned about. How am I even going to feel okay with myself worrying about Kirk or Spock when all this horrible shit is happening to tons of no names off screen, you know? But hey, the first and third one are really great, and I don't know what about all this rumors of like Tarantino being involved in the fourth movie. We'll see how that goes. Oh look, the game ended. Okay. I don't think I showed off all the best of this game, but God, it's a good table. What did I miss? What if Q's Discord is kind of heavily... Yeah, like Q's Discord, why not? Because Q can be like... Lancia and Q can be different things in different parallel universes, so why not? I'll eat my hat if it turns out he was playing both sides. Oh, I see what you're getting at. Well, we won't talk about that. Skirts did that in Shell Strings. What did I do in Shell Strings? I incorporated like names of characters who were also in other stories. Oh, never mind that. Ponies Are the Size of Cats is a story I feel bad for not finishing because that was like instant feature bait material. Everyone fucking loved that story, and I just quit on it like I don't know, like a horrible boyfriend. I have problems with that story because I once actually considered going back to it, so I reread portions of it. And I have a lot of objections with the protagonist. I'm kind of proud of how I've done protagonist in terms of like obscuring the nature of the protagonist's name, gender, identity. Like the actual identity of the protagonist doesn't matter for the story. It's only the emotional nature and construct of the character. But too bad I hate all of that about the protagonist. The protagonist is like a whiny bitch in that story, and I feel bad for doing that to them. If I had my ways, I would just do the character different. That was the death knell for the unwritten story. God, what was it called? Person Mare? That was going to be a story about a OC pony living in the Equestria Girls universe in the body of a pony, but only she knew that she was a pony. Everyone else thought she was a human. It was kind of going to be a very obtuse, I want to say, analogy for transgendered and such. But that's kind of a stretch. But I realized I just made the character too bitchy. What really works, especially in stories like Background Ponies, you got to make the character I want to say hopeful or optimistic in contrast to the shittiness that they're dealt with, so that you empathize with them more. If you have a character that just bitches all the time, it's not as cool, you know? I mean, it's one thing to have someone to bitch, like say Hawkeye Pierce in MASH. There's a character who bitches all the time, but they do it with such poetic finesse, and they make everything fun and silly and whimsical that the charm wins you over. You know, and the problem with a lot of stories, including shit that I've written, like Australia has a problem, is that the protagonists get progressionally angsty over time, which is only natural given the events that they deal with. But if you try to prevent that, if you actually keep them more hip and more like capable, it makes for a more interesting narrative. And I failed that in a lot of ways. And I could see that it was going that way with Person Mare, and that kind of made it hard to do that.
Return to battle, soldier.
Let's do Attack on Mars. Why not? So this is a fun table. You're just fighting off Martians, and you have to help different parts of the world deal with it too. This is like if Mars Attacks was a better movie and turned into a pinball table, I guess. The biggest thing is you have to destroy the UFO in the center. I think I have to hit the centerpiece 3 times. Oh, the Martians are attacking! Oh god! Oh fuck! Oh shit! Oh mother cunt of hell! Oh god! You gotta kill them. Kill the Martians! Fuck! See, they're doing the Kermit the Frog attack. It's really serious here. I only hit one. I gotta hit all the other 3, but I keep hitting the ramp instead.
We must build an atomic blaster.
Come on. I keep missing the Martians. I keep hitting the ramp, not the Martians. Hit the Martians, please. Okay. Apparently I saved a blonde in distress. No, I killed 3 of the 4 Martians. Okay. Skirts are just like the most powerful pinball connoisseur in the world? Hardly, dude. Go on YouTube and watch like people do like a playthrough of like Star Trek, Stern, or maybe like the more recent stuff, and you'll see that I'm nobody compared to like the real experts. If I keep hitting this weird thing over and over again. Come on. I want to shoot down a UFO. Come on. Yeah, did you pay attention to the news and how apparently there's like military footage of like a UFO that was captured by like a legitimate American aircraft with like a legitimate camera on a legitimate day? It was uploaded in conjunction with like an interview on CNN of someone saying like, yeah, I used to work with the military, there's still UFOs out there, and nobody gives a shit because it's 2017 and news is kaizo enough as it is. Like seriously, if aliens existed, we found out aliens existed like tomorrow, would it make the world any better? Because nobody would care. It's like, yeah, it's like no, we gotta wait for the FCC shit to pull through. Let me try this again. That was a bad game. There we go. Yeah, I'm sure if like aliens existed tomorrow, it would still be expensive ticket prices at Disney. So you know, my world would stay the same. Let's see.
We must build an atomic blaster.
I gotta admit though, I got pretty hyped when like the scientific side of the internet was talking in like gaggles about how that one asteroid that like flew through our space, through our solar system from like another part of the galaxy could possibly be an actual alien satellite because of its long slender shape is unnatural for like most spaceborne objects. So like, this could be like an interstellar spacecraft. Let's look for signals. And they said he aimed like a whole bunch of dildos at it. And like, nope, nothing. We can't detect a thing. So we don't know what it is. Let's see. Of course, like 95% of human fantasies about aliens are either them raping us or us killing them. Hey, anybody remember that one movie? What was it called? It's called The Explorers. It came out in the 90s. It was like the epitome of like the 80s Stranger Things influencing like kids in the backyard building random shit and dealing with like supernatural bullshit. And it had like to do with these kids building a spaceship going to outer space, and they come across like these 2 alien kids who run into like this big UFO, and after having a bunch of like Pee Wee Herman style hijinks, they learned that aliens are afraid of humankind because they've been picking up on our like on our radio frequencies and like television signals, and like all science fiction movies dealing with aliens have to do with us killing aliens after they invade, and like humans hate us. It's like, oh, that's just entertainment. That's just Hollywood, buddy. Anyway, here we just killed a UFO. And Tracer said ta-ta. Thank you, Tracer. Oh, God. Oh, Last Lamplighter. I don't know what happened to the XCOM playthrough. I was so horrible at it. It was probably best I didn't continue it anyways. I'm sorry, buddy. But whoever you are. Yay. Well, we gotta save the Germans now. We gotta save Reinhardt. You know, you've played Overwatch when all you have to do to respond to a nationality is name a Overwatch character. Fuck. Come on. Here we go, the Kermit attack. Come on. They actually made a sequel to this table that included an LCD, like an LED screen, I think, with like full motion video. I think it was like half arcade and it was half pinball. Hey, look, multi-ball. You can look it up online. Look up like Attack from Mars or Revenge from Mars or something. Part 2. Fuck. I'm smacking a lot of them now. Fuck you. God damn. Wow. Man. Anyone keeping score? Fuck. Get it! Get it! Yes! I cannot celebrate my high score until the wall that divides Berlin goes down. Anybody here besides Silverdale alive from the 80s? Ah, shit. Alright. Oh boy. I have played this a lot. Can't wait till I download a season where I can have a different like table appear alphabetically at the top of the list so I don't hear this music every time I load up this program. I just did. 2,508,000. What the hell? I think I glitched it. Whatever. I think we have time for one more game. And I think it has to be probably the best game on the list. Where is it? You know, I always say that every other one is my favorite. I think this is my true favorite. Where is it? God, I have so many tables. Monster Bash. I think I played this on a stream before. Monster Bash is really good. This is like the Universal trademark monsters. We're talking like Frankenstein's monster, Creature from Black Lagoon, Dracula. They play in a rock band, and you have to get the band back together. And so you're playing a game with this, and each monster has a different part of the table that they represent. Like you have Frankenstein's monster and Igor, and then you have like the Bride of Frankenstein. You have to do all the different parts of the table and activate all the triggers, and then it can actually perform for you. I've done it only once, but overall it's just a really fun table. I'll look at some of the questions really quick. Explorers, awesome movie. Thank you for remembering that, LMS. Have you ever tried building a brick wall with oddly shaped bricks? I live in Florida. We have a lot of sand, so I don't think we do. Lexicon says I was not live during the 80s. It's okay. You'll probably live longer. Is Wanderer D in here? If so, that's pretty flattering. And yeah, it says, Zap, you better not talk about Sweetie Chronicles right now if he's in here. I was born 2002, 6 Lexic, so we better not talk about Flash Century anymore, eh? Okay. Let's do some Monster Bash. I like this table so much. I think I had a game that lasted like 20 minutes on this table. It's got so much personality to it. Watch me fuck up horribly. So I gotta hit like I think Frankenstein. Fuck. I gotta hit Frankenstein's table like 4 times to activate the keyboardist. I gotta hit the Creature from Black Lagoon thing 4 times as well. I think a rule of force in this. Fuck. There's also the Mummy and like the Wolfman. That's a bride right there.
studly as you, Doctor.
Has triggered the Wolfman. Fuck. Bad. Have to do another game. I'm really sucking at this. What is TSC? I feel bad for not knowing what TSC is. Is that Sweetie Chronicles? That's not me for me to know. I just let it. Let's start over. Fuck it. That was a bad game. Let's try this again.
Welcome to the Monster Bash.
Thankfully, this is not real life. It's real life quarters. It's hard to say. I think the Mummy might be my favorite of all these characters. They gave him like this sort of old Jewish New Jersey, like Yonkers voice or something. Okay. So the bride's whole thing is that she's the diva. She's like the singer of the group, and at the same time she's looking forward to meeting her groom. But if you actually get her triggered all the way, get like all of her points, then she actually just throws a bouquet of flowers into the monster's face. It's like a mini plot lines in this shit. Ah, goddammit. I want to at least get Dracula to appear. That'd be great. Bonus held? Okay. Halfway to the Mummy.
I'm almost ready, my studliness.
Here we go. Yes. God, I'm really sucking at this tonight. I'm sorry, y'all. I love how there's a big compact disc in the middle of the table. Ew.
It's nice to see you're back.
Yep. Here we go. Yes, Dracula. You gotta hit him 3 times on the moving table, I think. Oh, shit, I got him. Come on, get back. Hit him. Ah. Oh, I triggered the Wolfman. So I got the jam going on. I cannot hit Dracula. Almost got him there. Shit. Man, I just cannot hit him tonight.
I hope this monster is as studly as you, Doctor.
There we go. Got him once, twice. Yay! There we go. That was close. Nice. Oh, I think I might have triggered Frankenstein's monster. Here we go. I gotta hit it one more time. No. What we got? Hey, we got creature. Peace out, Lexic. Have a good evening. Here's the Mummy.
Does anybody have some moisturizer?
Mummy's the bassist. So yeah. Oh my God, we got a mosh pit.
Come on, stage dive.
Here we go. Fuck yeah. Multi-ball, let's do it. They're jamming. It's like actual thrasher music too. I got an extra ball. Yay. Doing much better now. Something about this brand of music makes you want to pop in like Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 again. Oh shit. Come on. I want to get... Oh! It was... At least we got an extra ball out of it. Okay. Let's finish with a bang.
Shoot the game.
Come on. on, you can do it. Oh, I missed it. Fuck. I gotta serve it to the right, and then hit right at the table. Ah, I keep missing. Ooh, that was close. Man, I keep going to the left of it or to the right. And do it! Here we go. Yeah, here we go. Frankenstein's monster. Multi-ball, let's do it. Yeah, this like has I think 3 or 4 different ways to get you multi-ball in this game. It's great. Yay. Oh my god. 2 left. There's 1 left. Oh wow. I got maybe 2 jackpots out of that. That was fun. Pretty much accomplished what I set out to in this game. Oh shit. Oh, okay then. The night shall last forever. Come on. Man, now I'm just hitting it every time. See, she doesn't care about him. Ball and chain, lol. It actually plays like a rendition. If I didn't die immediately, it would have played a full rendition of like the wedding anthem, the wedding march song, but like a rock version of it. It's just got a lot of character in this table. Shit.
The moon brings out the worst in me.
Oh. What are you gonna say this time?
I've been in that darn thing for 3,000 years.
There's still quotes in this game I hear for the first time. Oh, here we go. We got Monster Bash. I guess I got like all the different like triggers. Fuck yeah. That's how you end an evening. Well, there are goals that you can accomplish depending on the table you're doing, but it's usually just about the high score. But this is about as much as you can do on this table that I've done tonight. This is it. This is a Monster Bash. I got the band back together. I think it's the second time I've only ever done this, so yay, multi-ball, too, let's celebrate. See, so we're playing the theme song. Ugh. Nice. God. I'm losing it. At least they're serving more. Wow. Fuck. 4 balls. You watching this for us? Ah, shit. Now it's down to 2. You should have been watching. It's like an actual track they're playing. It's great. Ah, shit. Yeah, well, now we're down to 1, so it was great. That was great. I'm glad we were able to capture that. And it goes. Whew. Damn. Good shit.
Shoot the game.
If you insist. See, people know what they're doing, which is not me, I assure you. Can go on forever and ever with the game. Well, you know what they say, 4 balls in Canada is like 2 in Australia? I don't know. At least you keep your balls in bags. That's how most people carry them. There we go. Woo! Oh my god. that was quick.
How sweet it is.
La la,
Man, this is a good game.
la la.
Shit. Wow. Just go at it. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. Come on. Ah, I had a rhythm going there for a second.
Come on, kids. Nobody knows the scales like
I like what the creature, like the idea is that he's left and he's gone solo, and so you're trying to talk him into joining back. Yeah, they convince him 4 times in a row.
You're monster of mine.
Ah, yay, disco. Have you seen that? Excuse me, that Equestrian Girls short thing on Derpy Burrow? Of like apparently Rarity wants to be like a disco queen. It's the cutest thing ever. Oh my god, this game's never ending. Fucking hell. At this rate, I'm gonna have a second bash.
beginning to be a pain in my axe.
Oh god, fucking hell.
How'd you hold your breath for so long?
Well, download the Family Go app onto your phone, Zappinator, and it's as easy as a click of a button. Ah, shit. Fuck.
Rule.
Shoot again, baby.
Ah, Jesus. Can I make it? Ugh.
Come play with us.
Come on. Nighttime? Forever? Where does she think she's going? Elements, elements, where are the elements?
He's got
How come you know so much about Nightmare Moon anyways? Are you a spy? Simmer down, Cigar Cube. Ah! This is going on forever. Alright. Holy shit. I did not mean for this to become the fucking Ben-Hur of pinball games.
No, please, not the moon. You won't like me when I change.
I think the Wolfman is my least favorite of all the monsters. I guess I'm just not that into furries. Can I at least get the Frankenstein monster up here a second time? Come on. Almost got it. Ah, shit. I gotta serve it to myself. Ah, okay. Okay, let's do this. Ugh. Nope. No, I'm just trying to... There we go. That's one I want to do. God, it's never ending. Here we go. Oh boy. Come on. Ah, shit. Shit. Get more jackpots, please. Fuck. I missed it. I was at 4 balls again, Forrest. Everyone's tabbed out. He's just looking on 4chan right now. So he's got any more jackpots? Yeah, sure. Fuck. Come on.
Hey Frank, you could use some asbestos underwear.
Fuck, I missed it. I did not mean to do that, I promise. Last Lamplighter, I don't read Klopp. I read Equestrian Girl smut on occasion, and basically anything that Drace writes, with the exception of bestiality stories. How about that? And there's like that one story he wrote with Mrs. Cake. It's like, thank you, not my thing, and I didn't read that. Almost anything else they write. I mean, I've commissioned like 3 separate stories from Drace Domino, you know? Thank you, Jaren, for staying for the ball. Okay. Come on. Ugh. Come on, we already end with a bang and several other booms. I mean, I'm having memory of like, oh my god, another Monster Bash. I apparently am on the ball tonight. Thank you, Forrest. I have memories when I was a kid, middle school time. I went to Mystery Fun House in Orlando. It's Ron I Drive. It's no longer open anymore, but it used to be there. And my friend Graham, he was playing, I think, Mortal Kombat 3 against somebody, and it was just some rando kid. He wasn't even part of like the party group because we were there for like another friend's birthday, and Graham was playing, and I think he was owning as like either Smoke or Sub-Zero or something, and he just could not like lose. He just kept owning this one kid, and my friend whose birthday party it was like, dude, we gotta go, like we have laser tag and shit. It's like, I can't lose. And he was pulling some sort of like arcade combo shit where you can actually give like the enemy player like an extra life to prolong the match, but he just kept kicking his ass anyways. He's like, I cannot lose. I'm trying to end this game, but I cannot lose against the scrub. Fast forward years later, I'm in high school, and we're going bowling for the same kid at a bowling alley at his birthday party, and I'm playing Tekken, I think 3 for the first time in my life ever at an arcade on 1 quarter, and I beat like 5 or 6 of the other kids in a row non-stop playing Law from like Tekken 3. And it's like suddenly I'm like this pinball wizard of Tekken 3 that I never knew about before, and it's like I think I went on for like 10 games without losing. And people are like, this is what happens when you introduce so and so to like arcade games that we know by heart. He turns out to be fucking awesome at them. I also got the 128 stars at Mario 64 before they did. Here's a little trivia. God damn it. This is boring as balls. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry I keep winning. I promise I'll be shitty again soon. Look at that. See? There. Breakdancing black guy. I don't even remember what his name was. Oh my god. What did that even do with that? Holy shit. Okay. Oh, that had to have been top. That was 256 million. Or did I actually have a game better than that? Zappiner, you be natural at Killick then in Soul Calibur. That was top score. That was the best score I ever got. Thanks for being witness to that, I suppose. God damn. That's Monster Bash. Maybe it's more entertaining when you're on your own and it isn't as awkward to keep going on and on and on like that. I don't know. But I think it's good. So, I think that's probably about it for like pinball tonight. Were there any maybe some last questions I can ask, since the whole point of this was kind of to be an AMA thing? Let's see. Did I have any other last questions that I didn't answer? Can you ever really... I already talked about winning in pinball. What was the last story you actually read on FimFic, not counting things that you commission? Ah, shit. There's one that hit the feature bar. I think Lightning Sword. It's about Thunderlane basically finally indulging in his long-time desire to cross-dress. He goes to like the boutique, and he's all awkward as fuck about it, and then finally Rarity owns up and helps him like basically come out of like the cross-dressing closet or something. It was not bad. I thought it was really good, especially for what it was trying to do, but it's kind of hard to make something poignant of that subject matter in a one-shot, you know what I mean? And I don't want to step on any toes, but I think cross-dressing being used as an umbrella for like a transgendered state, or maybe for like for having a different sexual orientation, is not necessarily always correlated. So I think it's bit of a stretch maybe in the statement being made in the story, but it was still a good feeling story, and it was cathartic, and it was all happy times, smiles in the end. Got a little not necessarily dramatic in the middle, but all around good story. Didn't delinate into stupid sexual stuff. It was just kind of happy, nice slice of life story. So that was pretty good. Any idea of what writing for you after Pony 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 will look like, assuming I'm alive? I don't know. I don't really think I ever had the guts or the wherewithal to do anything professional, even though I fantasized about that in the past. I think I told myself before that, like, assuming that I make enough popularity with FemFic, with Patreon, I could try to pivot that towards doing original stuff. But I don't think I can do original stuff professionally. I would probably just try to make a website and say, hey, you like continuous fiction? Here's some more shit from the guy who did the horse story Australia or something. That's probably the most realistic possibility. Nothing has seized me in terms of fandom like MOP has, so I don't really see myself jumping ship to something else and enjoying it nearly as much. Pony was just amazing, and it still is. I mean, you're all here because of that, you know? On a daily basis, I feel like I'm in a better spot than I was 10 years ago because of it, you know? So to me, it's a lot. It means a lot. Last Lamplighter asked, do you believe in everlasting love? Absolutely not. I think we're all chemicals that are here by accident, and love is a word. There you have it. Zappinator says, what is the dream story you just wish someone else would write so you could read it? It's probably all the smut fic that I have in my head that I try to get Drace to write, but then I realize that he can't slam all that on one person, and it's also not very affordable either. So the Simply Coco story is like only at maybe half finished, or maybe even a quarter finished based on what I always hoped it would be. So if I really want to get that shit done, I have to write it myself and somehow manage to make it competent. So that might be a thing to do in 2018, but if I do, I'll probably do it on an alt, because fuck that. Any other questions besides that? I think I've filled out the cringe part pretty well. Million-word smut, that would be horrible, wouldn't it? You know, although I'm sure that exists somewhere. Like a lot of stories out there, like this is a million word long fic, and there happens to be smut scenes in it. I mean, that's usually how it goes, par for fanfics. I think there's at least. There's one that a lot of people don't know about, and there's another one too, but it's kind of, people have caught on, you know. The whole meme of skirts having a million alts and everyone being a skirts alt, I think it's a better meme than the, you know, skirts likes to write flowery purple bullshit, you know. I can kind of deal with it better, but it's all fictitious, you know. I only really write on 3 major accounts these days. Maybe that will increase in the future, but I don't know. I write stories almost like I play World of Warcraft. I get bored and I have to make like a lobby or something, you know? Just Road Trip by NSP, but with Rainbow Gamma. What? Ninja 6 Party? I don't know what you're talking about. If you were ice cream sundae, maximum 3 scoops, what flavors would you be? I don't like ice cream. As a kid, I ate it too fast, got brain freeze, and I decided never to go back. Not to say that I haven't had it since then. I prefer sherbet. I like orange. I like orange sherbet. I like pineapple. I like fruity stuff more than like vanilla and chocolate ice cream. So I guess I would be orange, pineapple, and maybe lemon sherbet. How about that? Forrest says there's still one thing I'm trying to find. I guess I'll give you time on that. Yeah, ice cream is indeed too cold. It is Florida, you know. You got to eat that shit fast. And it just doesn't work out. Like you go to Disney and you order that shit from like the Pineapple Dole Whip Express, and you got to go through that thing in like minutes, or else you're screwed. You know, you got to smell the exhaust coming from like the Aladdin carpet ride thing, and just, you know, live with it. Last Lamplighter, it's Belle. It always has been, always will be. Even if Cinderella's a mistress that I visit more often, it's always Belle. Forrest says, oh no, I'm just trying to say there's one alt I know exists but haven't found yet. I'm sure you can talk to enough people to find out who it is. Ever stream a scary game? I don't think it, like, I'm glad you all are here to watch this, but I don't know how this is actually entertaining. I'm just rambling like a marble-mouthed moron while playing pinball. I don't get scared as well, I think, playing like something like Flutter Priest and a non-pencil do with the Barcast when they do like the scary screaming closet thing. I don't think I can make that entertaining. I mean, I like scary stuff and creepy stuff in general, but I don't think I can actually funnel that into an entertaining like Twitch experience. I have to work on like charisma. I have to work on my charm. I got to work on just being a Twitch, F word in general. No, I'm not going to write a story called Rainbow Fucks West. No, thank you. Operation Westfuck. Is there a place in Game of Thrones called Westfuck, or maybe I'm thinking of something else? I don't know. But you're all cool, so I appreciate that you enjoyed it. But God love you, because I know, objectively speaking, I could be better at this kind of garbage. A good stream of an analytical view towards scary stuff. Well, maybe it's something I've played before. Like, I've done Silent Hill 2, I think, at least twice, and I played Resident Evil 1 Remake on GameCube a million times. So I can almost maybe see myself waxing nostalgic on that. But Game Grumps and Best Friends have done it better, so what's the point, you know? I think, you know, I don't think I scream or shriek when I play scary stuff or watch scary movies. When I see a scary scene, I usually laugh, because I find out laughing is the easiest way to deal with that kind of stuff. What does phenom mean, says Last Lamplighter? That I stole I just straight up stole from, I told the story before on other like podcasts and stuff, from like the late 90s, early millennium. There was a group of people on the internet with a website called Disaster Labs, and names from that were Mr. Roo, AK Neutron, Weapon, other people who nobody probably knows about. The closest thing to fame that anybody from that group made was probably the Orphan House Flash movies that were on Newgrounds and then ported to YouTube. There was just a group of people, like inclusive group, that made a bunch of like comedic stuff on the internet, and one of them they made is what it was probably my favorite piece of literature in all of existence. It's called The Potentially Destructive Bus / Dumpster Chronicles. And it was written inclusively by a bunch of guys that nobody ever heard about in the early aughts. And it was just it read like Xavier Renegade Angel watches or feels, if you ever watched that show. Just a bunch of hyper violence and like satire and just crazy antics and Kaizo shit going on, and they had a lot of running gags that I didn't understand, but I didn't care because I thought it was awesome. One of them was the war cry of "Phenom," which was used in one or two episodes of Potentially Destructive Bus / Dumpster Chronicles. And since I know nobody knew about it, but I kind of want to do a nod anyways, I just stole it. And I kind of like running gags and jokes that nobody gets but you, and if someone actually puts the time and effort to actually research it and discover what it means, and you've done something to affect another soul on the internet in a really cool way. And so I do that a lot. There's a lot of jokes that I write into stories that nobody can possibly understand unless they're fucking lucky, essentially. And that's basically one of them. And ironically enough, at one point after I think one of my podcasts or blogs or something, somebody in the My Little Pony Brony community who actually knew Mr. Roo, who was the animator of Orphan House, like got in contact with him and said, "Hey, this guy loves your stuff so much, he makes references to you." And he's like, "Oh, really? All that stuff is behind me." But it was like a weird kind of fanboy moment where I almost made contact with the people who used to write stuff that I thought was like, you know, stellar material back in the early aughts. So that was really cool. Have anybody read enough of my stuff to know that I have this one piece of dialogue that I use multiple times? I've probably done it 10 times in Appledastry alone, where it's an introduction, it's like a scene break, and then there's two characters like either standing around or walking down a road, and someone says, "And so the blank says to the blank, 'No, you have chicken mouth.'" I use that religiously, and it's just a reference to Xavier Renegade Angel from Season 1, Episode 2, I think. With like the Mexican gang. No, actually it's not this. It's a different episode. It's Weapons Grade's Life. It's from the middle of Season 1. This kid in a wheelchair is like telling this joke to these two randos, and it doesn't mean anything. So the rabbi says to the priest, "No, you have chicken mouth," and then it's just so absurd. I love it, and I steal it and I use it religiously, and I almost always have the other person laugh and respond with, "I don't get it," and I'm waiting for someone besides Zappinator to react to it, like, "What the hell, you know? What the fuck do you keep doing that?" So I think that's about it. I thank you all for joining and for watching. I'm sorry I couldn't make it more interesting, but I am flattered as always by your attention and just giving me company all around. And I hope to entertain you again with more stuff. I suspect probably the first week of January, like maybe January 3rd or 4th, is when I'm going to hop back on the dailies. So I got to resume the Winter Children of Abaddon arc in Ophirodi, and I gotta get back in that Apple Dash story that nobody reads. But just gonna chill a bit, and then first week of January I should be back on board. And hopefully, once I get that going and pace, I should be able to do. I should be able to finish the Scootaloo story as well. And then once that's done, I'll see if I can get into the habit of doing more long-form stuff again. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Someone says, I think Monochromatic used the once, twice, thrice blinking a billion times. I know what you're talking about, but I love to talk, but it's got to be another occasion. So I got to skedaddle. For those who missed the stream and you're bored enough to watch the whole thing, it's going to be archived on Twitch for a little bit of while. I'll see if I can archive it to YouTube as well. So more power to you. Have a great evening. Kiss your brothers. Shake hands with your sisters. Try not to catch anything from it. Goodbye. Bye. 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 Bye.